at this point, this Akai, for all intents and purposes, could go into the EXP, right?
Yeah.
And then you put Arla into your support position, and then you might want to reconsider, because once you have that Matilda down, you've kind of solidified what your roles are going to look like, and then TLPH decides, got the instant disengage on top of having a Granger. It works out. Ultra Legends, Zetian, perfectly done.
You see this line of Team Liquid having a lot of damage, aggression potential, while Ultra Legends, could they be a little bit too utility heavy? We will find out in the game. Once again, welcome to MSC 2025. It's Team Liquid Philippines versus Ultra Legends, and I'm going to hand you off over to Gideon and Naisu.
Thanks, Ramar. All right. Naisu, looking at this game, which draft do you like a little bit more? Because I was on praise for the first half for Ultra Legends. That finisher, though, is what set me back.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go lean towards, I'm always a big damn guy, a big damage guy is what I like to go with, and that is Team Liquid's lineup. I mean, they're looking to go ahead, I feel like, end the game early. I don't know what our fastest game is going to be here for MSC, but it could start off here.
Well, let's find out as we head on into the game. Our very first match to kick things off here for the Mid-Season Cup 2025 here at the Esports World Cup 25. Let's kick things off with TLPH on the blue side up against Ultra Legends on the red side. Now, as we all know, CarlTZ has been known to be that guy. The GOAT. The GOAT. When it comes down to Lancelot plays.
He didn't use the skin.
He didn't use the skin, but to be fair, this skin is also very, very nice. I personally went out of my way to get the diamonds to buy it as well, so I totally understand it. Me and CarlTZ, same mindset.
Same mindset. Basically, you're just as good, right? Flicker already. Look at the aggression. This might be a first blood already for CarlTZ, but he's checked from Quanok, so they'll back off, but they're going to get the Lithwander.
What was that? That was a little janky, I'm not going to lie. That was a little, I'm going to quickly look back. Nobody called for a tech pause, so it seems that both sides still trying to adjust to their devices in their hands. Regardless, right? No first bloods coming through, minimal damage, but at the very least, for Quanok, he's going to be a little bit behind on that EXP. He probably only missed, like, what, 1 minion at this point? Yeah. Not that big of a deal.
Okay, looking at the emblems too, I mean, this is the thing, he's going with the killing spree. He's actually got that extra speed too. I think the Phoveus as well. The Phoveus and Gata Contra for Team Liquid, I feel like give them a safe either engage or disengage to deal with all this utility. Sanji's gonna feel it here in the mid lane. The rest of the team on the response. CarlTZ will go in for some pokes, and JP just around the corner, charging up the Unbreakable, but won't land it on Rice Crimp.
What was, okay. Maybe I think Team Liquid need to take a step back here. They're thinking like Ultra Legends are on a different level because he's making hard predictions, right? He could have just gone into a straight line. If he played it absolutely straight, he would have gotten all 3 with the top. But now we come up to our very first turtle here. Level 4 is not achieved, as you can see.
Oh, whoa, Sanford already going to jump in. Infernal Pursuit on Quanok. He's going to be gone already. Throwboy, popping the heavy spin. He'll get the turtle, though. Turtle secured by Ultra Legends. Meanwhile, still, CarlTZ actually falls. Now the rest, TLPH, are still going to go for the fight. Circling Eel drop down. They go in. Throwboy joining the fight again. So tanky for Sanford, but Farrell joining the fight. Oheb rotated up as well. They're being outgunned here as Ultra Legends picks up a little bit of lead on that.
Yeah, a bit of a bad fight here. Ultra Legends even calling over the Kimmy to almost ensure that they win that fight at the very end. The cleanup was very, very good. Dark Lord honestly played an extremely strong game here. Oh, but they find a trade back at least 2-2, the current score line.
Leave it up to Sanji on the Varsa to just make something happen. You know?
I mean, they needed to get something back, right? Because let's look at this one more time. Because in that fight alone, CarlTZ, I mean, the whole team of Liquid is looking to fight. They're looking to get as many possible kills as they can. While on the opposite end, Ultra Legends are looking to play for neutral objectives. If they're able to find these punishers like how Dark Lord does, then it's not too bad. It doesn't feel as awful.
Oh, bottom lane, a little bit of action here too. Looks like that was a jump out. We're still here on this replay, but there's a lot going on in the gold lane. So JP had to burn his Avatar of the Guardian. I think they were trying to make a play on Oheb here, but the rest of the team's going to be making their way. See if Ultra Legends still goes for this, or they just get some extra gold off the turret.
JP's here to try and alleviate the pressure, right? But I don't think they're going to commit too hard.
Yeah, they just clear this out. Minion's going to be cleared out, but they want to force a fight anyway. JP thrown out against the team. Tops are revitalized. CarlTZ will now join the fight. They're going to get disengaged, though, with Guiding Wind, so they're fine. Ultra Legends will escape that situation.
Okay, nicely done, nicely done. Because in terms of priority, it's very clear that Team Liquid want to play it towards the top side of the map. They want to make sure that Sanford can do whatever he wants, right? They want him to have a gigantic lead against Dark Lord. But despite that, that bottom side for Ultra Legends, recognizing, hey, if they want to win on that top side, sure, but if we send enough people down to the bottom, we can hurt OHEB.
Okay, second turtle of the game up. They're going to go in again with the taunt. They force out the circling eagle. Still going to be breaking it out, but Rice Crim already going to fall now. Sanford up in the front of it all. Dark Lord, though, goes in with the final slash. He finds OHEB, and Pharaoh will pick up a kill. Now Sanford has to flicker out. Ultra Legends going toe-to-toe here with Team Liquid.
And they're doing a phenomenal job, right? A lot of battle spells burned from the side of Team Liquid. The tempo in favor of Ultra Legends. And despite everything that has happened in the early games to try and hurt the laners, it feels like Ultra Legends maintain this lead. So far, it's an ult-dependent game, right? Keep an eye on those green dots on the side because we're going to go in potentially for one more fight. I don't know if Carl wants to be anywhere close to this turtle right now.
Yeah, we still got OHEB down at the bottom. Dark Lord's gonna flicker out. Carl's looking for a kill himself. We'll find Dark Lord, a revitalized pop from JP. They might reinitiate it. Sanford's up in the front of it all. Throwboy pops the heavy spin though. Sanford in trouble, and Rise Crim still up. As Carl TZ looks to get the kill, goes in, finally clears it out. JP jumps in, can't land the taunt though, so he's whittled down at 1 HP. Turtle's still for the taking, OHEB. Now part of the fight will force Ultra Legends back. So Team Liquid wanted that turtle. They fought for it.
Again, they're not looking to go toe-to-toe in terms of, I will out-retry you. I just need to get a man advantage. And you can see, right, Carl TZ, he needs to go in and out of these fights. He needs to start initiating for his squad. Now, we're going to call for a tech pause here. Not entirely sure what is going on. We'll keep you guys updated as the information starts streaming in. But Naisu, the way that this fights have been going, I think that Ultra Legends, right, they saw Carl kind of go into the middle of the fight. They realized, hey, this is a bait. We need to wait for an opportunity to jump with the heavy spin. And then the formation started to break once the heavy spin started to come out.
You see what I mean, though? It's like, it's an interesting thing with this because when you look at the fights break out, Ultra Legends does really good at kind of pushing and pulling. That's what the lineup is going to do for them, especially when you have a Matilda on your side. I just feel like sometimes, like I was expecting from the draft, they get a little too split up, maybe, and then Team Liquid.
And they definitely need that Death Sonata to do so. That slow is such an important tool.
Those are two big item pickups too here, defensively for Team Liquid. So that's a Radiant Armor for each, one for Sanford and one for JP. They are the guys that we see, you know, putting themselves in these fights as they have to. Couple shots for Rice Crim. OHEB looking for that. Go, Rice Crim, one hit away. He'll actually survive it. So looked close there.
Yeah, OHEB, just the spacing just wasn't there. He thought he killed him 2 times and just backed off just before the shots actually connected. But it's totally okay, right? Because now they've already put some good damage on that mid-tier 1. Maltese's already a level 12. He's out-farming Throwboy as expected. But this 3-level lead off of that initial fight, this is the Team Liquid that we know and love.
Yeah, so they have, I mean, these small situations have compounded at this point up to a 3,000 gold lead. They're going to fight once again. The Feathered Airstrike dropped down. They want to clear out this mid lane. Throwboy jumping into the fray, pops the heavy spin, and once again, everyone thrown around. Throwboy's going to go down and jump into the turret from JP. He'll get the Unbreakable off, and Pharaoh goes down. Dark Lord takes the front of the damage as OHEB picks up a kill. They're going to pick up the turret in mid lane off of it.
And now the experience for Team Liquid is starting to shine through. Ultra Legends are reacting too much to what Team Liquid is trying to do. Preemptively, right? They need to wait just a little bit longer. If they waited for a half second, they would understand that even Team Liquid doesn't really want to put themselves in a compromised position. Because look at this, right? We see the initial knockup coming in from Sanford, but he doesn't take the Infernal Pursuit. As soon as we see Zitian drop down the Fury of the Phoenix, it felt like Ultra Legends had to make something out of it, right? It's a super long cooldown. They don't want to give another turtle away. They force the fight, and that's when Team Liquid are in full control. They force you into these scenarios as long as you react.
Yeah, really difficult to kind of see how those fights break out for Ultra Legends, because you're seeing where that kind of patience that we saw from Team Liquid earlier in the game has compounded up to this point. They're able to go ahead and just kind of outgun and out-survive a lot of the members right now. Again, they're going to try to force them off of this tier 2 turret. So with this kind of lead, it's up to Team Liquid to just kind of take what they want, and we're seeing Ultra Legends try to maybe respond to that and be a little hesitant.
I mean, they're extremely hesitant, right? They saw what happened in that last fight. They reacted too much to it. And now with that 3-level lead, it's even clearer that Throwboy can't... Oh, hold on.
Whoa, JP jumping into the turret. It's going to get stunned for the Fury of the Phoenix. Pops the Revitalize, but it will go down anyway. Sanji dropping down, covering fire with a feathered airstrike.
Oh!
And Carl TZ goes in, cleans up a couple kills, gets a double, does enough damage under the turret. They're under the tier 3. They don't care. Oheb goes in, gets a double himself. Team Liquid.
That was too clean. That was too clean. I mean, Ultra Legends had the correct idea. Take out JP, take out Samper, separate the front line and the back line, and then you have an opportunity to force Carl, force Oheb in positions where they need to go out of their way and overextend to make it happen. But Team Liquid, they've got the mechanics to back themselves up. They have the lead to make sure that these waves are fully utilized, especially for someone like Carl, because Lancelot, he loves those waves.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to be expected, I guess, with a Lancelot where you're under like tier 2, maybe tier 3, but then Oheb jumping in on the action too. That just shows once again that they have gone into the Stampede form, this form that they're used to showing in a lot of the competitions that we've seen Team Liquid play in. So this gives them a massive lead. This is going to be a Lord in their hands. And Ultra Legends is going to have to hang on here.
Hey man, when the SSJ, the trio, takes some damage, that's when you call in the baby cakes. And so far, it's working out perfectly. Oh my god!
Daddy JP jumping on in, taking out Throwboy. He's going to be fine. Pops through a Vitalize. They're going to work on this turret. Shield's going to go down. Dark Lord won't find that final slash either. So they have to get ready. Even without the Lord, Team Liquid marching into the base, looking to end game 1 in a quick fashion. Top turret going to be worked on, and Ultra Legends will hold on for as long as they can.
They know how to push up the pace. 12k gold lead. This is a checkmate scenario unless Ultra Legends can make it to 42. But every single time they walk out, that feathered airstrike reminds them you can't walk up.
Okay, but without the feather airstrike, I don't know if Team Liquid's going to be able to end the game unless they can turn this fight completely in their favor. Dark Lord could be in trouble. Final Slash going to be used. Has to flicker defensively. Carl TZ doing work under the turret. Won't find the kill though, so Lord's still going to be worked on, and that's fine for Ultra Legends. It looks like they found themselves staying in the game.
Okay, we need to pull up the item list. I'm curious to see whether Rice Cream has the... Oh, hold on. Another feather airstrike coming up, because Quanok is standing too close for comfort.
Again, jumping on in, flicker burn, forcing the fight on the turret. JP will get taken out, separated from the team. Sanford down the front of all. Dark Lord also low, forced out a flicker, but Oheb's still going to be unleashing. Finds a kill on Dark Lord. There's another defensive flicker from Ultra Legends, but they're still holding Team Liquid at bay from ending the game. But all base turrets will be worked on here. Sanji, one hit away on that turret. It won't go down just yet. And Throwboy taking a little trip there with the Guiding Wind.
Sanji, last auto attack, gonna take out the final inhibitor from Ultra Legends. This is such a difficult position because Ultra Legends have to make choices, especially when you're pushed in at checkmate angle. You have to decide, do I lose inhibitors or do I lose the game? And 100% of the time, teams will say, I would rather lose an inhibitor than the game. They do buy a little bit of time for themselves, but the inevitable is coming. We look at the items and quickly realize that, hey, a Sky Piercer pickup coming in from Pharaoh. Kinda interesting here, a little dangerous, I'm not gonna lie, but we do see that the Flask of Oasis has already been complete, and that's been why we've been seeing more aggressive moves from Dark Lord.
These are also still the aggressions from Team Liquid. Carl TZ going on the backside. They're forcing Chaos alone. A jump from JP. Finds multiple members. Throwboy's going to be gone, and they're going to work on Dark Lord next. Dark Lord falls. They'll come in for the cleanup as Team Liquid will go ahead and take game 1 in this best of 3.
Really nicely done from Team Liquid. We get to see what they are all about. Tempo-based combat. They have the lead. They will press it down your throat until they have checkmate angle. But Ultra Legends, that early game, honestly, not that bad. They were really going toe-to-toe with these guys. TLPH probably wasn't expecting them to be as confrontational.
Yeah, I mean, they had the utility-heavy, very tanky early game lineup that is designed to mess up early game aggressive rotations. But there was one thing that Ultra Legends forgot. Taking care of their mid-game power spike. I feel like they were a little bit too early with going for the 5-man rotations. Because even
very standard, like Southeast Asian style of composition that we're very used to seeing in our own MPLs.
Yep, I like the draft shown off by these two teams, Ultra Legends. Let's see if they'll be able to execute. Gideon and Naisu, you guys have a little bit more time to expound, and well, you're going to be casting. I'm just going to be watching.
No worries, man. You enjoy being a fan for now. You and me, Naisu, we're going to be heading on over to game number 2 in just a little bit, but looking and breaking down these final compositions. What do you think about TLPH? Because I think that's the biggest question mark with the way that they were positioning themselves. It's like, we could have some really nice combos. Yes, it does come at a cost, but I don't think it's that bad if we play well.
I like it, man. I like TLPH because they have pick-off potential with the Kalea, and you guys mentioned that quite a bit through the draft. But then you can fight really well into a Final/Zaman Force combination, and then you have a Jushin to help set that up. So I like TLPH's draft here.
Okay, let's head on into it. The Mid-Season Cup 2025 continues here at the Esports World Cup live in Riyadh. The second match between Ultra Legends, now on the blue side, faced off against TLPH on the red side. Man,
Wait.
blue on blue.
That's okay. Wait, what about you, Gideon? Where are you? What do you think here? Who are you signing with here?
I think my biggest problem is the lack of potential damage from the side of Team Liquid, right? Like, I agree that Carl TZ is looking for these, like, one-off pickoffs.
Right.
But then when the fight is done, what happens then, right?
Yeah.
If Sanji ends up collapsing in the middle of that fight, if Oheb, who's probably not going to participate for at least 9 minutes. Whoa.
JP getting really close. First blood for Throwboy. Ultra Legends will pick up an early kill from JP.
And all this because overextending on a Little Wanderer. That was a little strange, not going to lie, but hey, still recoverable.
Okay, Throwboy once again looking for Sanford. Will get the flicker, uses the retribution as well. Still going to be going. Couple hits away for Sanford. Oh, Throwboy picks up another kill. He's 2-0 early on.
He's 2-0. He ends up missing a cart minion, which is going to really suck for him. I mean, what to do? What poor Sanford. Can't do much about it. Let's see how Ultra Legends continue to play, because this is where... Whoa, okay. All right. Bit of a mistake there coming up from Kunok. Wasn't expecting him to die, but I thought he had wings by wings, so... Oh, a little unfortunate there.
Yeah. Up here, up top, Oheb delaying, and there's the shadow kill from Carl TZ. The timing on point. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, JP goes down again, but still, Sanford joining the fight now. Dark Lord takes a couple hits. Won't be able to survive that, though, as Sanford now converts. So Team Liquid finding their own, I guess, through this aggression. Sanford could be in trouble, gets thrown into the turret, takes a shot, and will fall.
Oh, Sanford, he's a little sad about it. Not level 4.
Oh, under the turret, Oheb, 1v1. Farrell, whoa, he's going to be fine. And there is Throwboy to punish Oheb. So we see Team Liquid being very aggressive here early on, Gideon.
Yeah, I see the idea that Team Liquid is going for at this point. But hey, I mean, the meta has kind of shifted. Unfortunately, Old Harith probably would have gotten the kill there. Old Harith would have been totally fine. But I think that Team Liquid is trying to kind of pull Ultra Legends apart, right? Really get them heated up on these matchups. Because in terms of what they are losing, despite the solo laners getting kind of shafted here, it doesn't really matter, right? Because Sanford, at the end of the day, he's not a main damage dealer. He's either a cleanup or a big initiator. Carl TZ has been able to progressively get more and more farm. Sanji is the one who's not dying and has the full level lead. And look, Kunok, again, he's trying, but every single time Carl shows up, he's forced to use an ability.
Yeah, and every time that flicker is down, the timing is going to be there for Team Liquid to go ahead and punish it once again. So now up here in the gold lane, Pharaoh won't escape that one. JP comes in to make sure they secure that kill. So Oheb, JP doing work. Still a minute away on the objective though, so Team Liquid will go ahead and continue to put pressure up here on the turret for now.
Now, most people... Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see how this plays out.
Sanji could be in trouble here. Throwboy has quite a bit of damage, but enough crowd control will keep him alive. Sanji relying on the team here. Great Tsunami Slam. Now Oheb waiting for the rest of the team. Drops the Zaman Force. Rice Crim forced off of the turret. Farah here trying to keep it up together. They do.
And now they back away. I love how Team Liquid is playing this, right? Pull them apart, and people know their matchups here. Don't get me wrong. Sanford knows that he's basically not winning his matchup, and that's totally fine.
Whoa! The smooth final slash into the mid lane. Be able to pick up Quanok. Oh boy, I don't know. He's going to jump in for Sanji. Pops the beats here. Sanford again with a stun, and there's the slam forward. But Throwboy, there's an implosion. Still in the mid lane, going to be forced out. Oh, Sanford will get punished for earlier on. Dark Lord still a part of the fight. I don't think they can pick up a kill, though. He's tanky enough. The rest of Ultra Legends join the mid lane. They're going to drop down the feathered airstrike. JP trying to get some distance, but will fall anyway. A good fight back from Ultra Legends.
So very scrappy here. Really nicely played by Dark Lord. He was able to save his jungler by knocking off Sanji, so he wasn't able to get that final pickup onto Throwboy. Either way, just look at how this game is playing out, right? It's chaotic on purpose by design.
Dropping the Zombie Force. Couple of the members. TLPH, final slash. Will find Quanok. Quanok won't be able to escape as he falls now. So they were making a way up here towards Oheb, but they'll lose one member for Ultra Legends.
Yeah, they've manipulated the way Ultra Legends are looking to play, right? They want to stay on this top side as much as possible. They gave up that turtle so they can get Carl TC to get the initial push down on the bottom side, and that's how they want to play.
Again, Implosion to try to counterplay this. A flicker to stay alive. Rice Crim's going to be fine. A lot of this back and forth with the abilities and the ultimates. So far, still a lot of attention up there on top. Carl TZ gonna make his way here towards Throwboy. Good drop of the beat. Still, they're gonna fight it out. Shadow kill gonna be used, and Carl TZ is gonna have to get out of here. He's focused down under half health. Dark Lord jumping back in, goes back with the quad shadow, and will survive for now. Pops the rejuvenate, and Throwboy forced out. Sanji could be in bad position now as he tried to help Carl TZ. Still trying to bob and weave through it, but can't survive as Dark Lord will take him down under the tier 2.
That one, bit of a mistake from Team Liquid's side that they needed him to decide whether to disengage or not. But I think Sanji was confident he could take out Throwboy, and that ended up putting him in a pretty awkward spot. Regardless, Oheb is going to get a T1 on top side. They've unlocked him, and now the main win condition for the side of Team Liquid is now on the loose.
This is a very different Throwboy in game 2. And maybe that's just the fact that he's on a different style of hero, you know, for the jungle. But he's a lot more aggressive. He can be a lot more of value, I feel like, on this Joy. Once again, the mid lane is going to be the focus. Rise Crim doesn't have a flicker, so don't expect a surprise implosion from him just yet. Feathered airstrike. Oh, a huge final slash from Sanford again. They're going to jump in, collapsing down on Dark Lord, and you can't withstand the damage. It's a wipeout from Team Liquid.
And what did I say? Doesn't matter how badly Sanford loses, as long as he lands a good final slash, the fight's basically done for. Really good culmination of abilities here. Let's just watch it one more time. This is after the final slash. The big problem is that if Dark Lord isn't able to separate the battle lines, really create space for his team, that's when we see Ultra Legends start to break in formation. Right Scream can look for these big engages, but if Quinnock gets caught, their main anchor starts to fall. Right now, Ultra Legends need to recognize that Quinnock is getting highly targeted, so they need to make sure that Pharaoh and Quinnock are on 2 separate angles, if not, have some decent space in between each other.
Okay, they do take this orange buff. A final slash on Dark Lord. They're going to go on the retreat here. I'm not sure if this is where they want to fight, but Throwboy already quite low. Gets picked up by Carl. Carl pops the shadow kill under the turret. He's going to get Implosion and caught out, though. He won't escape that as Pharaoh picks up a kill, but they're going to force the fight under the tier 2 anyway. A stampede under the fight. Now Rise Crim will survive. Quanok just flapping away. Wings by wings. Sanji's not going to let him go. He's going to drop that lantern right in there. Takes a couple shots himself. Quanok flickers out, but he's going to get whittled down. And Sanji knows it as he picks up that kill.
Outplayed by Sanji. Really nicely done there. Forced out his flicker as well to try and turn the tide. I mean, Quinnock, he just needed to land 2 more shots at the very end to guarantee the kill. So far, Ultra Legends, they're still grouping up a little too close for my comfort. But I need to talk about item builds. What is Dark Lord doing with his build? That's my biggest problem. Yeah. Why are we going and deciding, hey, I want to go for Brute Force Breastplate as my first item? Like, sure, I get it, you know, get a little bit of tenacity. Sanji gonna be in your face, gonna be a problem picking you up all the time, but like that movement speed ain't saving you, especially when you're dealing with Sanford alongside to kind of extend the CC.
Tsunami Slam once again. Rise Crim will pop the implosion, be able to catch him out. Sacred Hammer too. JP still alive. Fight going in anyway. Rise Crim finally falls, and they collapse down on him. Throwboy looking for his own option, but he's gonna get stunned, and he's go down to 3 fall for Ultra Legends. They have no way to fight in that choke point.
I think right now they need to use Pharaoh as a means to open up the map safely. They need Rice Cream to also open up the map. He's fighting some good, don't get me wrong, good implosions, but they need to stop Sanford from canceling the Feathered Airstrike.
Oh, having a final slash. Again, under the tier 3, Team Liquid does it again in game 2.
I mean, they're getting farmed at this point. Team Liquid, they've got their timings, and they know how to extend a lead. Ultra Legends need a mistake from Team Liquid if they want to bounce back. They need to catch Oheb somehow. They know that he doesn't have his Purify any longer, so with Rice Crim, Implosion plus Flicker, he has an opportunity to turn this around. A huge shutdown on Oheb could change the course of this game.
And it seems like a difficult task, especially when you got 2 Purifies over here, a whole lot of displacement crowd control in Sanford alone, but then you have JP finding the right marks here. And mind you, you're down 10,000 gold again. So very difficult place to be in if you're Ultra Legends as they get ready to go ahead and defend against this first Lord push.
It's the checkmate angle, right? Oheb 6-1 and 11. They've got 35 more seconds to force a play onto him before his Purify is back up. And I think that Ultra Legends, if they have the chance, you might as well go for it.
Might be a Hail Mary play is what they have to go for. Flicker is up. The shield in the mid lane already popped. They hold on to this top one. But the Lord's going to make its way. And we've seen this before where Team Liquid will fight and force this situation on Ultra Legends here. Getting a glimpse at it too. I just, again, I don't know. Even their front line, whether it's Rise Crim or Dark Lord, will be taken out so quickly here.
Yeah, and Quanok finally getting the glowing wand.
Conceal going to be used. Is he actually going to initiate this Feathered Airstrike use? And they go in. Tsunami Slam. Meanwhile, Throwboy going against Carl Teasy with a Shadow Kill. Carl Teasy gets that. Joins the fight. Pharah's gone too. They're collapsing down under the turret. Rice Crim the only one left. But that's going to be it as Team Liquid will sweep the series. And it's a Maniac in day 1 for Oheb. The waves are pushing on in as they go ahead and get together. And the stampede is true. A sweep for the series.
Disgusting play coming in from Oheb. His mechanics really just showing like, hey, maybe Harith hasn't really changed as much as we thought. You just got to be that good at the hero. But I got to give it to Sanford, right? Despite losing in the earlier stages of that game, he was pivotal. Oh, Rice Crim wants to try and go for something crazy, go for a Flicker Implosion. Final Slash, cancel it out straight away. A Feathered Airstrike, cancel it out straight away. He is absolute disruption in this case.
Okay, Oheb, I'm gonna stop being a Harith hater. That's it. That's my character arc. Done. I'm good. No more hate on the Harith. It feels like I just saw, it was like deja vu again. First 5 minutes, Ultra Legends clearly know what they want and how they want to do it. But once they get to the mid-game, past 5 minutes, past the laning phase, the power spike moment, they can't convert it into substantial map control or objective control.
Yeah, the conversions aren't that great for Ultra Legends, I will admit, but I think they definitely have some really good concepts going for them.
Oh,
the main issue that I am seeing is that when you have love it, and they even got their own chant going. The Sharks are hungry. And let's see whether the Sonics are able to kind of stand their ground here, right? They basically got their potential flex here. I don't think there's any good mid laner at this point unless they want to go back to like good olds like Loyi and stuff like that.
Valentina,
but there's not a lot of good ults to work with other than Edith and even and the Tsunami Slam, of course. But even then, it's like, man, how are we going to fight for priority in the first place? Because Lunox plus Zitian plus the Badang, Lunox versus the Badang, it's going to be a bit of a struggle, especially against Kimi Kalia.
Yeah, Lunox gold lane, and I think the surprise is the CFU showed up. It's very CFU. They can actually stretch out team fights that the old-based composition of Onyx might struggle a little bit. However, there is the Yisun Chin on the side of Onyx that CFU really greatly need to respect. I will be enjoying this. Gideon, Naisu, you guys have more time to expound.
Thank you, Ranmar. All right, so now our second best of 3 is about to kick off here. Onyx ID facing off against CFU, and you heard it 2 times. Hopefully the mics picked them up because that battle cry is actually kind of sick. We got to ask them about that.
It's closer to us, man. I would be actually really impressed with the audio engineering if that doesn't come through. Again, it's so loud for us here in the studio, but again, can't wait to watch this kickoff.
Let's begin our second best of 3 here at the Mid-Season Cup 2025 here at the Esports World Cup live in Riyadh. CFU will be battling against Onyx from the blue side as Onyx will attack from the red. It's going to be a purple start for both of these junglers, but let's expound on the compositions, right? Because again, a very classic matchup we're seeing nowadays is Yishin Shin versus some form of tank-style jungler. And usually what happens is that Yishin Shin gets a couple levels ahead of their opponents.
Whoa, Sands! Flickers out! And that's a first blood for Opie. Keyboy will take a brunt of the damage, but he's going to be fine. Man, early start for CFU.
Very early start. And Boxy even committing the flicker to it. So really nicely done. Sing also using his Inspire pretty early on against Severo. He's trying to get an early lead. Severo just needs to survive.
Yeah. You know, going back to that as well, the YSS, I feel like in the main part is you always have that added benefit of vision, but then when you come to his rotation and his actual jungle speed, he should have an easy time against Detective here on the Fredgen, right?
Well, for the time being, as long as he doesn't get CC'd to the ground, right? If he gets hit by the energy eruption, that's when we start to have problems. As long as he maintains his traceless, it's all good, all fun and games. But now with the changes to the jungle, that it takes a little bit longer these days for these camps to respawn, there's a bit of dead air after the clear. And that's where mid suddenly becomes a huge priority. And CFU, they're ready for this, right? They've got Detective in position. Hopefully, Sans opens up the map, sees it, and now Keyboy getting attacked.
Okay, Keyboy gonna go ahead and slide on out. He's fine. The rest of the team's gonna respond though. Kyrie will take a couple shots off, but again, that's a Fredren. The turtle's up though, so this is where we get to see how they play this out. As they get in position, you expect the Fredren to have control of this. It's CFU that's actually gonna zone out Onyx from this first objective, and it looks like that's going to be secured for CFU. Sans, once again, will find himself pretty low. Look how aggressive Opie and Detective and everyone else is being. They're going to force him off the purple buff. They go in. Keyboy falls. They get another. It's a double for Wadu. CFU knows the enemy, and they'll go ahead and duke it on out on this side of the jungle. A triple already for Wadu.
Beautifully played from CFU. You can just see the hours of scrimmage time that both CFU and Onyx ID have given to each other. And CFU recognize, hey, we've got to lead. We must press the advantage. Severo might find a solo kill. What? It just goes into the air, seeing out of range.
Oh, Severo, he's going to get just punished for that. I guess he thought he could pick up the kill, but doesn't have enough damage yet.
He should have been able to pick up the kill. It's just that last darkening shot didn't connect because Zing was just out of range. I think that Severo might have had to commit a flicker, but that would have felt so bad. Either way, he's still missing out on that solo kill. Kinda sucks. CFU now 5-0 against Onyx ID. This is going phenomenally for CFU Gaming.
Hey man, if it had anything to do with the war cry we heard earlier on, that might be the buff here for them in game one. Already 2.4K ahead. And with this kind of lead, this is going to set things up really well into even the next turtle here. So Onyx, they're going to have to find themselves building up, you know, from this deficit early on. Now, can they do that with this lineup? It might have to be a pick-off, a flicker, an aggressive play. Once again, going to be able to find the mark on Kyrie as Kyrie falls. CFU wants more. They're going to just jump in. They know the timings too. They'll take the purple buff.
Amazing play. Really great from Boxy's side. He sees the traceless. The turtle ball gets thrown from the mountain shocker. It misses Boxy. Flickers in to yoink him and pull him out of position, knowing that he's got literally no battle spells to save him because he's the jungler. He has to take retribution. And with traceless on cooldown, it guarantees the kill with CFU Gaming corralling around that mid lane. It's working out perfectly, right? Every fight. Wait, hold on.
Oh, Boxy could be in trouble this time. Right now, enough damage. Onyx will get on the board. They might be in position to go ahead and secure themselves to an objective. They desperately need this from the game getting too out of hand. Swadu up on the front side. They're going to spawn that out. He flickers forward with it onward and goes forward in. Two will fall from Onyx again. CFU is just on point with the fights and initiations, and now Sans in trouble. He has nowhere to go. He does flicker out. A good setup though, but still going to be alive. Now Detective on the backside gets a flicker out from Severo. He'll dodge that. But again, the objective going over to CFU.
Oh my goodness, Wadu is so good on these Earth Shatter flickers. He is a dangerous man when he has flicker in hand, making sure that Lupi basically was non-existent during that fight, right? He's supposed to be the one who buys time, but it gets chain CC to the ground. Right now, the coordination from CFU Gaming is immaculate.
Oh, again, this is a tough spot to be in for Onyx and Tunisia. It looks like sometimes, you know, they're able to go ahead and convert something, but then that was just one setup, one kill that they were able to get. They don't really have that many tools to go for a pickoff in comparison to what CFU has.
That's completely true, right? Again, you're expecting Keyboy to kind of get into that position. However, in terms of like raw damage, it really boils down to Kyrie, right? He's going to be the early game damage for now. Sans, yes, he can do some damage, but it's not like overwhelming like a Farsa or in this case the Kimmy. It's just not comparable. Even Severo to a certain degree, he's got a bit of damage, but he really needs his items. And in terms of tempo, CFU Gaming, because of that initial purple buff steal, they know exactly where Kyrie is going to be 90% of the time, and they're utilizing that information to make sure that Onyx ID don't have an opportunity to actually attack. See, even making sure that they lane swap to ensure, hey, they're going to be playing for that Lunox now. Wadu, if you can clear these lanes, that's perfect, because we're going to get T1 down bot side.
Yeah, just as you say it, that's going to be fallen here. They're going to get in position for this third turtle of the game, last one. I'm not sure how Onyx is going to play that, though. Now, this time around, Keyboy, once again, he'll have the flicker to go ahead and try to set things up, but that might still be the case if Kyrie can't get in position and you're too worried about going down for that fight. Okay, there goes... Keyboy doesn't have the ultimate anymore. So this is a tough one to go ahead and fight because, again, you're lacking that firepower, and the further behind you get in terms of this gold again, an initiation with a Tsunami Slam. They're going to force the fight anyway, but Onyx will try to fight back, and Appraiser's Wrath finds a couple, but the crossbow of Tang will find Keyboy. Zing picks up, Severo in trouble as well, can escape Wadu, and CFU Gaming continues to dominate.
God dang, man, CFU Gaming. They're not here to mess around. They want to make sure that they are sweeping the floor with Onyx ID. Every play they have made so far is so good. They initiate immediately, baiting out the last couple of ultimates from the side of Onyx. Most importantly, Sans one. The Fury of the Phoenix is such a powerful tool when you engage, but it's also a great disengage tool. However, at the end of it, Zing was able to get into that crossbow of tank form to apply massive amounts of damage to Onyx ID, especially pre-8 minutes. So at this point, with a 6.8k lead about to turn into a 7k lead, CFU Gaming just need one more fight and one more tower to break into the 10k bracket.
This is insane of a lead and the start for CFU, but a phenomenal one at that, and Wadu has been locked in the entire game. Every single time he goes for that setup with the, if his flicker's available or not, he's on point with the Earth Shatters. Now they're going to fight in between the two turrets, forcing a flicker out, Tsunami Slam, easy one turret. They need something and anything, because right now CFU is taking everything. Tier 2 is going to fall in the mid lane as well. Everybody quite low from Onyx. They have no choice but just to watch.
Yep, CFU Gaming understand if we don't close out this game, the scaling for the side of Onyx ID is going to be a major problem down the line, especially with the Yi Shinshin on top of having the Lunox side by side. For now, if we have to break it down, I think that CFU Gaming, once they hit that 10k mark, it's going to be good. But the wave clear might be a little bit of an issue, right? CFU Gaming cannot start falling behind, and they can't let the game extend super late. The pickoff is going to begin. Again, using tempo. Look at this.
Wow, traction pulse into Tsunami Slam. Able to find one. Keyboy will jump in, but it's just way too much damage. Overloading Onyx as another pickup here for CFU, and the Lord is up. Perfect timing. They're all up and alive and healthy. They'll make their way to the Lord.
Yeah, CFU Gaming making sure that every interaction with Onyx is a winning interaction. That's how this composition must progress forward, and Onyx just starved out a lot of their resources. Divide and conquer, says CFU, as they take this Lord while breaking the Holy Shielding.
Great juggling happening here from CFU. Very impressive once again. Start off to this best of 3 series. I think even Onyx is kind of just left wondering what's going on here. They don't, even if they try to stay under the turrets, they're forced to fight anyway. And that's why that Kalea from Boxy is so good. And this might be, again, the effect of Boxy going back into the roam role, allowing them to have that decision making on their side. And what a great showcase it's been so far.
I think we really just, unfortunately, Onyx ID just doesn't have much of an answer to the early game. They just needed to not interact, but CFU Gaming said no, force them into their position, force them into a position where they have to interact with them all the time. They can't run away from these fights, and neither can they disengage. So therefore, Onyx ID
again. Boxy jumps in with a Tsunami Slam, finds Loopy after missing the traction pulse. Opie's gonna pick up the kill anyway. Boxy finally goes down, but Kyrie quite low, could be in trouble. They can clear out the wave up bottom. Mid turret already down, but they won't get more. CFU with a 12,000 gold lead. It looks like they're going to stay a little bit longer, but Onyx might have been able to hold on a little bit longer for this game one.
I mean, the breathing room for Onyx ID is just running out. They're losing space. Wadu, keep your eyes on him. He's got Flicker.
Oh, Wadu. Brilliance is going to be used. They're just trying to clear out the waves here as they do. So Onyx, despite everything else, will stay in this game.
That's a checkmate angle right now, achieved by CFU Gaming. 12.3K, the biggest lead we've seen so far here at MSC 25. As we can see, even for Onyx Indonesia, how do they find an angle, right? Every single attack they have, there is some form of counterplay. Sing can go invulnerable with the crossbow of Tang, not to mention that she also has an inbuilt Purify, making it more effective against the raw CC coming out from the side of Indonesia. Boxy, whoever he picks off at this point is almost guaranteed to die. The damage coming in from OP is ridiculous. The stacks that he has, he's 6 and 10, 0 deaths.
Oof, again, Boxy, big enough threat. Jumps on in, traction pulls, gonna find multiple members! A great setup under the base turret! Luffy gonna be able to fall, and it's a wipeout, a maniac for OP! That's game one, dominant for CFU Gaming.
Holy cow, Onyx, they're gonna be looking at that, it's like, okay, we deserve to lose that one. Our draft didn't have an early game plan, and every interaction we had for the first 5 minutes was just a losing one against CFU Gaming. I wanna see how they're gonna replicate this in game two.
It seems like Onyx cannot shake off whatever is up in the air here in Riyadh in MSC. But CFU, I want to focus on them. Draft, gameplay, everything, aggression, the hunger. They are just so good. And that's literally all what's said in my note. CFU versus Onyx ID game one. Stomp. CFU so good.
So that's
I think Onyx might be able to take a page out of the book from Onyx, the Onyx team that competed in MWI and even Team Vitality. They can go Akai EXP. Sorry, I'm going to say it. I love Akai.
I'm down for it.
Yeah, against the Arlot, because we've seen Arlot struggle against Akai EXP in the past, because once you go in, you get heavy spun out and you completely have your flow broken.
Yes, not to mention that his Akai's base damages in lane is actually pretty good. And the fact that you develop your own natural shield already takes away the value from Arlot trying to trade freely against you. But here we go. We get the Phobius. I think it's totally fine, right? You already have 2 dashes available. Well, arguably 3 dashes here. And that's totally okay, right? It just makes sure that the mid duo is confirmed. It's Badang plus the Zushin. Now, how does CFU respond to this, right? Because I'm expecting both Badang alongside with the Kalia to both take Concussive Blast. So really, it's the damage profile that's going to matter here. I think it's going to be the Zetian from the side of CFU. It makes sense. It's got the enough ways to kind of reset Arla to make him real strong. And considering how Wadu played in the previous game, I think he might just be another out.
And what about gold lane too? Because gold lane, you still need a what's left? Harith? They go. Whoa! I didn't think they would go with the Harith, because I figured they would want some extra physical damage. Because this is I mean, you're lacking that, right? I mean, yeah, you have a little bit here, but profile-wise, and that's what we've been talking about throughout this entire draft, is you kind of expect, okay, gold lane, you're going to go with a physical damage dealer, but they go with the Harith instead. But let's not hate it, because we were talking about the Harith in the previous matchup, but Oheb proved us wrong.
I feel like there's a confidence pick by CFU. They're signaling to Onyx, like, we know we can win this game, that we know we can win this before the 14-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, it's just to make sure that they could completely utilize every bit of Zetian's kit. MR Shred, there is stun, there is a pushback, so every little bit of the kit is utilized. I thought maybe Granger, but again, here's where it gets dangerous, right? If Lupti gets far ahead, those dashes are going to start stacking up. He's going to get a lot of passive triggers, but there's a limit, right? If you have too many passive triggers, then you're not going to be able to do much. If there's just enough, then you can keep consistently resetting.
Yeah, if you're only joining us now, again, CFU has the lead in this series. One more win puts them against Team Liquid for the qualification match heading into the playoffs here at MSC. Gideon, Naisu, let's go.
All right, thank you, Remar. Once again, you heard it here first. 1-0 against the Indonesian champions. Cambodia is looking to represent CFU. You hear it every single time. This time, we got a visual on what that looks like. They are ready to play as we head on into the Land of Dawn for game number 2 in this best-of-3 series. This is going to be a fun one. Detective on that blue side, Kyrie on that red side, both with a purple buff start.
Looking at this too, again, from game 1, CFU started on a roll right away. They took it to Onyx from minute 1. We'll see if they try to replicate that here. Might be a little bit different, but definitely I want to see if Onyx has an answer for Boxy specifically. And yes, OP doesn't have his hands on the Kimmy, but they've got a lot of crowd control to go ahead and use. You can already see Boxy being aggressive and just trying to give some information over here. And this will be a little bit different too for Wadu. Now that he's got his hands on this R-Lot. Taking a look at the emblems here too, they're still quite tanky enough. They've got some decent damage, a little bit of mystery shop there too. A lot of impure rages, of course. The CFU still wants to go ahead and be pretty aggressive throughout this game. A little 1v1 action. Severo, though, this time around, the bob, the weave, the Rhapsody. There'll be a back forward. Whoa! Sands, though, this time gets first blood for Onyx.
Yep. So, in terms of the emblem setup, Keyboy decides not to take Concussive Blast, but instead wants to be able to kind of move a little bit faster with the help of the Quantum Charge. Helps with those rotates, helps to be able to move in and out of those fights. But more importantly, they don't actually want to push the waves. And Boxy, unfortunately, with that Concussive Blast, doesn't have a choice as they attack topside.
Oh, Boxy. Boxy goes aggressively, will flicker out, but gets taken down. Kyrie picking up a kill, so way better start for Onyx in game 2.
A much better start indeed. Onyx have adjusted their plan. You want to be aggressive, you want to punish your aggression, right? And at least for Severo, he's very comfortable in this Harris v Granger matchup. They played it for months because of the previous patch.
Yeah.
And now we go to the very first turtle.
First turtle still going to be CFU that starts it up. Wadu. Fury the Phoenix is going to be dropped down. Final Slash won't connect. They're going to jump in. Loopy, though. Infernal Blast. Infernal Pursuit. One down. Still going to be on. Loopy in trouble. Trying to get away. Goes in with a Dark Wave. Gets enough health back. Looking for OP. But finally will fall. CFU picking up a couple themselves. Plus this objective. A hard-fought first turtle for the game.
Oh my god, Boxy. That was actually kind of sick. He jumps in, knowing that Lupti wants to get the passive stack on the Detective first so he can start using the Infernal Pursuit, catches him mid-punch, and then the rest of the team chain CCs him. By the time he gets the Infernal Pursuit, Detective gets a free disengage. Let's watch for this one more time, right? Because Detective is here. He gets pushed back, he sees Keyboy, and then Lupti gets knocked up and allows them to disengage properly because Sans can't cover Lupti on top of the fact that Keyboy is dead. So really good stuff here. It's these small moments from CFU which is making the difference.
Yeah, and in that, OP got taken out earlier on. He did have to burn the flicker, so Onyx will find something, and that's, you know, what you mentioned is anytime Keyboy can set things up, he'll go ahead and try to do that. Doesn't have a flicker available now too, but still Onyx holding on to a very minor lead. This is going to be one of those games too where the gold laners really play a part, as Severo has done a good job farming up. Sing as well hasn't gone down despite dealing with a lot of 1v1 pressure. This is, like Gideon mentioned, the classic matchup that we're so used to seeing in the gold lane between these two heroes. So the teams for now are really just looking off pick-off potential, you know, around the rest of the map here.
Yeah, again, this is a very interesting matchup between these two gold laners, right? Because we've seen it many times, but it really boils down to the battle spells. Because now both sides don't have the flicker. It becomes a skill matchup, right? Severo must maintain a certain amount of distance to stay outside of the Zaman Force. Because if Sing dashes on top of Severo and commits hard enough, he will actually win out in this 1v1, right? Severo needs to make sure that he can poke out Zing and keep his health bar at a minimum, so even if he goes for the all-in, Severo with 2 Rhapsodies should be able to take him out.
Oh, Boxy gonna try to do something here. Purify's gonna be popped already, so Severo's gonna be fine. That is a battle spell down, so a little bit of an advantage right now for Sing to work on that Harith. We'll see if Onyx tries to go ahead and help out, but Turtle's going to be the next focus for both the teams here.
Yep, they're going to force out that top side, knowing that Severo doesn't have that Purify. Whoa!
Sans jumping in. We'll get the flicker out. Sing, though, going to try to cut it off with the Zaman Force, so that's going to be burned as well. A couple battle spells and ultimates, but meanwhile, the fight for this turtle. Onyx has control. Wadu there. Final slash, but Kyrie will secure the turtle. Still going to be breaking down the fight. Wadu going to be in trouble, and Kyrie will get a kill as well. Takes a shot at OP. I don't think you get anything more. Keyboy not going to burn that flicker for that. So focus for Onyx is the objective. They get a couple kills. They won't get this mid turret just yet.
Yeah, all this because Wadu just whiffed the ult. That's really what it boiled down to.
Yeah.
If he hit that ult, it would be a different story. Because he was left out in the water, and considering that the front line was getting shoved in from the side of Onyx ID, making sure that Detective couldn't cover that space, that's how Onyx ID were able to take this turtle for free. But now back into the gold lane, right? Again, a lot of resources are getting thrown up to this top side. The fact that Sans wasn't really part of that fight to begin with just goes to show how important it is for both gold laners to have some form of pressure, some form of a lead to really skew it in their favor.
So close here too, despite, you know, other than the jungle, which is, I guess, to be expected when you get a lead like this in Kyrie. Again, Keyboy gonna be fine. Tsunami Slam won't land. Boxy punished this time, and a kill goes over to Severo. Still the Dark Wave. Loopy jumping in. Forceful Flicker. Fury of Phoenix will be used. No one else to follow through. So Onyx happy with one.
Yep, really nicely done there. Making sure, hey, you Tsunami Slam. Okay, sure, not that big, not a big of a deal. Loopy just flickers on out of there. Instantly punished, knowing that Boxy still had his flicker on cooldown. So just really good tracking of the battle spells from Onyx ID, right? Both sides will find any little bit of advantage. T1 collapses down on bot side, but now we are starting to see the ball roll. I'm not sure how Kyrie is going to go, but it looks like he's going to go for the BOD. He's real greedy because he's also taking cooldown boots on top of it. And not to mention, Severo already with the Sky Piercer, this is where Zing has to be careful.
Is this just because of like a confidence play? Zing, wow, going forward. Severo, he saw Onyx, the rest of the members there, so he's just going to clear that out. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do much more, but that is no Zaman Force now available for this turtle. So Onyx might have enough of that information. Boxy's going to go ahead and take a look. I'm not sure if they're just going to rely on a Flannel Slash for this fight here. It's going to go for a little bit of a reset. Dark Wave. They go through. Zing gonna have to join the fight. There's the final slash they were looking for. Fury the Phoenix dropping down. Keyboy, Tsunami Slam as well, but Kyrie still gets the turtle. Zing unleashing now, looking for Sans. Meanwhile, Loopy's gonna be in trouble as well. Sans still up, but Zing can't get the last hit that he was looking for, but now it's Kyrie. Before he falls, he'll pick up a kill, and Wadu will survive. I don't think they're able to find Sans, though.
Wow, that fight. It didn't look like it started off well, but it worked out at the very end. I would love to see a replay of that fight one more time, because it really boiled down to Wadu jumps into the middle of the fight. Let's see how many people he catches with that final slash, right? He gets in there, the backline gets attacked, and that's where things start to snowball out of control. When both Zing and as well as Wadu are able to get their initial resets, because right now they're still pretty tanky, and there's not enough damage from the side of Onyx Indonesia to commit and spread it out and distribute it amongst a lot of spots.
Again, Wadu, I know we didn't get to see the entire play out, but he did a phenomenal job, too, at zoning Kyrie out. So Kyrie wasn't able to actually join some of that crucial moments of that fight. So, and then, you know, survives it all after that with the flicker. So, great decision from CFU. So Onyx, you know, they lose. They had about a 3,000 gold lead that they were working with. It's going to be whittled down pretty much to an even game here, at least economically. But right now, it's still Onyx with a little bit of a pressure lead, the way that they're playing around this, but I guess they've got to respect what CFU can throw at them, especially between Wadu and Boxy.
I mean, sure. I mean, the fights are looking good for CFU Gaming, but now, as you can see, the conversion isn't the most deadly, right? It's not like a 5k gold swing. It's only a 3k gold swing so far. And when we look at the items as already built, we're going into the second phases of the game. We're going into the mid game, right? BOD already complete for the side of Kyrie, and it looks like he wants to eventually build up to an endless battle. Lutpi, he's not even going for Thunderbolt at this point of time. He's literally anti-Cuirass. I'm going to be able to tank as much damage as possible. I really need to see the MR come through from him, and honestly, the anti-Cuirass is kind of strange. I would have liked to see him play the Thunderbelt from the get-go.
Yeah. Oh, early initiation for Boxy. Fury the Phoenix to follow. They get the beacon out from Sans. Sans, a little bit low here, still half health, but that's a whole lot from both sides utilized for this. Lord is for the taking. They're fighting for control. CFU, there's a final slash on Sans. Sans goes down. CFU, numbers advantage, gonna be jumping into the fight. Wadu's in trouble. Takes a couple hits from Severo, but Loopy has to flicker out as well. Severo has all the room in the world to move. A shot comes out and Loopy upholds them together, but he finally falls. And now Kyrie looking for Detective. Wants to line up the shot, but doesn't have it just yet.
Oh, he's trying.
Keyboy jumped in, but he's gonna get punished as Zing was waiting around the corner. An even fight for both.
Oh my goodness. All right, it's a battle of inches at this point, right? Both frontliners end up dying here. CFU, they do get a bit of a reset. Nobody's going to be able to take the Lord just yet. And the worst part is as these fights are going through, we start to see the micro plays, right? We start to see the efficiencies from Onyx side. Yeah, I'm down 2 kills, but look at Sivero and as well as Kyrie's damage. They're through the roof. They're topping the charts right now. And even Lutpi, without any damage items, is still able to provide and contribute. The worst part about this is the fact that Detective is 2 levels down. They don't really want to take this Lord. They really want to fight Onyx because they know they will lose a 50-50.
Oh, Final Slash going to be used again. Keyboy can be in trouble. Keyboy out of the picture. Still going to be breaking out. Wadu goes down next. Loopy also half health. Falls to Zing. Now they're going to be looking at a huge Appraiser's Wrath on Sivero. Will force him back, but the Lantern Flare will give a double to Sivero. Now, CFU has no choice but to back off of this. Kyrie's still up, but they're going to fight under the mid lane turret. Sans in trouble, but they'll punish him anyway. And Kyrie now looking for another. They wipe him out. A great fight for Onyx.
Down to the wire. Sans able to get that final pickup, allowing Kyrie to come in and run through the rest of them. Even Sivero able to stack back up. This is a fully built, fully scaled Yi Should Shin. Level 15. His ult is on a short cooldown. Let's watch this one more time, right? Because this fight all started with Wadu actually picking off Keyboy and not one of the big damage dealers, which is what we saw the last time, right? We saw Sivero dying early in that previous fight, but as this progressed, you notice they can actually kite 4 days.
Yeah.
There is no means for CFU to really extend their lead without the Arlet. Detective is great at planning his foot down and being an immovable object and slowly take space, but cannot reach further than it.
I think even that, when you get a glimpse of them, you know, still pressing on the gas in the mid lane, it's like, you know, you don't convert that kill on Sans, you are going to get severely punished, and that's what we saw there. Even then, Sans able to protect Sivero enough to give him that opportunity to survive that whole thing was great teamwork there. So this now leads them to this Lord. It's going to be marching towards that mid lane. You can see the stacks here too for Sivero.
So good. 560 natural stacks, 46 on the Skypiercer. And now with this Lord, they're hoping to get as many inhibitors as possible. Keep in mind, they have the better sieging composition. CFU, if they want to take space, somebody has to commit.
Okay, they'll clear it out. Seal's going to be used. It looks like they want to fight. Boxy's giving them a call. Retri's going to be used from Detective. Boxy jumps in. Tsunami Slam. No one to target. Fury the Phoenix already dropped down. Onyx might choose to counterplay into this. Loopy with a Dark Wave. Final Slash going to bring Loopy. He goes under the turret. A great combination. Onyx down 1 member. Still going to be looking for the fight. Sivero will keep OP in check. Zing. Very aggressive, but CFU will just find 1.
Nicely done by Detective. He saw that bar full. He knew that Lupe was going to come out of the out of the taunted state. And immediately, as soon as he made the mistake of pressing his auto attack, Detective hops over the wall to pull him underneath the tower. That's the way CFU Gaming, they understand they've got a shark on their logo for a reason. They are fishing for Onyx ID.
It reminds me of what LaFell mentioned about sharks and the noise they make. But, you know, yeah, that's it, that glimpse of CFU, it's really the timing they need. We do see this, the Holy Crystal and the Divine Glaive are there now for Zing, and I feel like, you know, he's pretty aggressive, and you can rely on the Purify here, but maybe that's just the way CFU wants to play it out. I think even as we get up to the next Lord here in about 40 seconds, still it's, you know, they got to be able to withstand that initial kind of onslaught from Onyx. They've been the ones, CFU, from game 1 to now even game 2, despite even being down, to start these fights. I don't know if it would change much for them if they let Onyx be the ones to get the first get-go on it.
I don't think they can afford it right now, mainly because Detective is a level down on Kyrie. And we know that with these world-class junglers, that 1 level difference really is the difference maker.
Detective. They're gonna force a fight in anyway. Final Slash already used under the tier 1 turret in the mid lane. Still gonna be looking for more. Detective finally falls. Zing sees multiple low health bars, but Sivero just unleashes. Keyboy jumps on in. They're gonna be able to take out Zing, but it's a double for OP. A trade already 3 for 2. And Onyx still with Kyrie up. Do they go and take this floor? They're so low here.
Yep, they are low, but Kyrie is going to heal up. There's no actually, I don't think if they're able to do the... Oh, wait, no, Kyrie should have enough damage, but he's going to let Severo do the tanking. So once he's got just enough health, he gets back in and they start switching places. So nicely done from the side of Onyx Indonesia. Let's look at that fight one more time because I was surprised that they decided to fight here, of all places. Why would you do it so close to mid-tier 1?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, if they are going to start a fight, maybe not there. That's not the best place. So even if they pick up a couple kills, ultimately they now have to deal with the Lord.
That was very upsetting. I think that's one of the bigger miscalculations coming in from the side of CFU game. And even though, to be fair, their initiation wasn't that bad. And I could definitely see an angle. But the problem is that mid-tier 1 is still available, and that's what takes away from that power position hiding onto that mid-brush. Now, the siege is going to be a little tough, I'm not going to lie, but Opie did buy that Wishing Lantern. In terms of Zing, he's really, really strong, but he needs that space to take full advantage of that Examine Force so he can start chrome dashing around. Oh,
whoa! Boxy going to start the fight anyway. Keyboy gone. Lord's going to kind of march into the mid turret. It falls. But now Onyx, do they still want to fight this? Even down a member. Severo's at half health. Boxy going to jump in with Title Strike again. They're going to force the fight anyway. Beacon already going to be used from Sans, giving them the space to work with. They're going to be able to find Wadu. Wadu still has the immortality, but Zing now once unleashing on Sans. They're going to be able to pick him up. It's a double already. But Kyrie comes back in, and Severo's still up. The immortality will not be enough. And now it's Kyrie and Severo still inside the base, and it's Opie and Detective. Woo! Does Onyx want to end this game here? They've got a little bit of this minion push.
Nah, they can't. They can't. Not yet. Unless they kill Opie right here. Detective, please stand in the right spot here. Severo's allowed to auto-attack, and same goes for Kyrie to the Crystal, but it does basically nothing as long as they maintain these waves.
They're going to go ahead and maintain it. Again, Detective going to watch out. Kyrie will go ahead and go for it anyway. Now they're going to work on the base, and that's going to be enough. Double kill for Severo. We're going to game 3.
Man, I definitely thought he had an opportunity to walk back into the fountain, but again, just not enough pressured. Well done. It really goes to show that Zetian doesn't really scale that well into the later stages of the game, but when you have Severo and as well as Kyrie on these heroes, holy cow. No frontliners, no problem. We'll just bulldoze through you.
Match of the day for a reason, and just when we thought we'd see CFU run away with it, Onyx gets it back, then CFU gets it back from Onyx, then Onyx eventually gets the death knell and gets the win. What a tremendous series, dictated by what is a signature of the Cambodian and Indonesian playstyle, team fighting.
It's really incredible the way that a lot of these fights get
in the recent weeks, but maybe again with this last pick, you're going up against Bruno. What do you take here? Do you go?
They still go for
I forgot Granger's still open, so why not give that into the hands of Severo again?
Not surprised with the way that they played it. I do kind of wish that Bruno was switched out for Beatrix.
All right, I just want to get your I wish that there was another consideration for the Bruno, but let's see what happens there. Real quick, Gideon, who are you leaning towards for this one?
Honestly, I feel like the execution for the side of CFU is slightly easier, and I'm going to lean more into their composition.
Nice.
I'm gonna go for Onyx.
All right.
I don't want to be opposite of Gideon.
All right, to the million plus watching right now, thank you. Let us witness together who will be facing Team Liquid in this Group A at the 1-0 bracket. Will it be Onyx? Will it be CFU? Will it be Indonesia? Or will it be Cambodia?
Thanks, Ramon. We'll be bringing that sentiment into our upcoming game as we head on over into the land of Dawn. To the millions of viewers out there, welcome. This is match point currently for both of our squads. It is CFU on the blue side facing off against Onyx Indonesia on the red side. Once again, both teams refuse to switch sides. There are no traders, only warriors as they battle it out on first. Starting off with the purple buff. No surprises there. But I really wish that, you know, the Bruno was switched out for a Beatrix. There's just so many ways to get value out of the Beatrix. The raw burst damage, there's not a lot of sustain from the side of Onyx Indonesia. And even then, most of them are running with the flickers anyways.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because Beatrix just doesn't seem to be popping up much, you know, in general, especially back in the professional leagues and the qualifiers leading all up here on the road to MSC. It just didn't seem to be one of those picks that people like to go for. The Bruno, though, on the other hand, I guess in a way, too, it kind of gives you a little bit of a Oh, hold on, already? Gonna jump in with Title Strike. Keyboy, though, is there to keep things safe. So you go ahead and just disengage from that. But still, I think the Bruno is just more of the lines of, you know, you get a little bit of damage earlier on with the 2 items, still maybe the 3 that he needs. But I think, yeah, you need that later on, that Malefic gun that's going to be crucial in comparison to the Granger specifically, who has so much more range.
Yeah, I mean, they want their late game scaling, and I think that's the most important thing for them. With the crit build, it's just, oh, the damage is through the roof. And they got to be careful, right? Because again, all these rotations are being read very well from both sides. They know they're going to be on the bottom side of the map. They want to unlock this Hilda. But even so, Wadu, it's a pretty dead lane for the most part. Lupti isn't able to manipulate the waves without the help of his team. And that's why Keyboy is here, right? If anything gets a little fishy, he can kind of neutralize the effect.
Yeah, that's what the Badang does so well. Goes ahead and messes with some of the tempo, and that's what Boxy really wants to do earlier on this Kalea. But the first turtle of the game is going to be up, so it's CFU getting in position. We see this time and time again, especially with the Fredrin. But they'll go ahead and check things out with the Mountain Chakra, and they're just forced off. They just walk on up, force CFU back, and Kyrie will go ahead and get the turtle, but still, Wadu now on the backside, looking for the first blood. They take a ton of damage. Double flickers on out here from CFU. Still, Kyrie, one shot won't land it on Opie.
Okay, first bloods haven't been achieved, but I don't know if anybody realized that, but Sans did a very interesting move, and I think it messed with the minds of CFU, which is why they gave up so much space. And by the time they realized where Sans actually was, they couldn't take back the territory anymore. Looking at the emblem build so far, everything seems to be up to snuff, nothing too out of the ordinary. We do have common emblems being built up by Zing, not taking marksman emblems and not even taking assassin emblems of his own. He's not looking to try and win the lane. He's trying to not only survive, but make sure that he has enough mana to stay relevant. The Master Assassin's always going to be a good time, especially if we see Severo make a mistake. In terms of everything else, the only thing is Lethal Ignition coming in from Sans. He is not going for Impure Rage. He wants to hurt.
Yeah, I guess you want to do that, especially with Aloy Yi, who, you know, dealt with some of the adjustments that she's gone through, but it was well-deserved. You know, Louis Yi and the chip for a while were on the top of some of the decisions, especially when it came to the macro play. But Wadu, not sure if he's going to be able to survive this. Mount Shocker going to be used too. That's a whole lot of damage to go on through as Kyrie will pick up the first blood.
Really good punish here. Really good punish from the side of Onyx Indonesia. I mean, Lupti understood that Wadu isn't looking to try and shove out this wave super fast. And now that he's got that assist, he's got the lead, and more importantly, he's got the tempo, he can now start influencing the side lanes and rotating off first. Now notice, we do see that Boxy is coming down to try and push him out of the way, allowing Wadu to walk back into the lane safely. But
Zing going for the fight. No! He hit the minion! He flickered into the bush, but he hit the minion! Oh, that feels
hurts.
bad.
Oh, that hurts so much. And Severo, the best part, Severo didn't have any energy at all. He didn't have any energy to Rhapsody. He didn't have any energy to throw out another Death Sonata. He just was auto-attacking until the very end.
All right, now, second turtle of the game, and you go up. Onyx getting pushed out of this one. Tsunami Slam to bring him into the turtle pit. They're going to go for the fight. Vengeance already going to pop too, but Sans will be able to pick up Wadu. A double for Sans already, forcing him off. And Kyrie gets the turtle on top of it all. So Onyx will come out swinging for that objective.
And now the snowball starts to begin. The smaller mistakes coming in from CFU game and getting punished hard by Onyx Indonesia as they crack open the most valuable structure in the game, mid-tier 1. And with that, we're starting to see what CFU did to Onyx ID in game number 2, but on the opposite side, Onyx has the timings, they got the tempo, and Lupti is in a phenomenal position right now.
He's flowing right now, man. I mean, a lot of the... You said this because that's typical, too. When the CC gets a lead, even if it's a... Let's say you're getting assists, but you have that lane advantage, even built up. I think War Axe was the first item that Lupi went with. You kind of give yourself that positioning, especially around the objectives. I can just jump on in, use my current call, my vengeance, do what I need to do, and then the team will go ahead and clean up after that. And so Lupi's in a really good position to go ahead and provide that for the team. Meanwhile, too, if he's the target that gets Tsunami slammed, it's not that big of a deal for Onyx.
Yeah, and as long as he has that vengeance, right, anybody with, like, quote-unquote burst damage or consistent damage really starts to suffer.
Boxy gonna go in once again. Purify's gonna be used, though. So Sans is okay, but saying, look at this. This is the battle of the range that Onyx has right now. Oh, Severo so close to getting another one with the Destinata. Keyboy now has the flicker. Oh, he won't be able to find Sing. We're going to force him off on the tier 2. Kyrie will go on in. Sans is there now as well. Nope, he has to go back to base, but Severo will pick up Detective. 2 kills for Onyx.
Ooh, boy, this game is getting real spicy, and Onyx Indonesia are making sure that they are running away with this. A 4.6K lead 6 minutes into the game, and they want to take a tier 2 alongside of it. If they do get it, they will turn this into a 5K lead.
Oh, Loopy wants that kill on Zing, but he pops the Vengeance. Won't be enough, though. And they go ahead and get on out with the diversion. The turret, tier 2, still going to be able to stand, though, with about a little bit of health left. But this next turtle is Onyx for the taking. That's going to be 3 for 3.
This is so good. I mean, Sans, despite most mid laners not wanting to play Loyi because of the new changes to that diversion, that it reveals the starting position but doesn't show your ending position, it gives too much info. So now he's using it as a mind game, if not a disengage tool. So what if you can see us? As long as the channel completes, my whole team can get on out of there. And the 2 other times that we've seen him use it, he does it in front of his opponents to keep them on their toes, to force them to double check the bushes that they had already cleared up earlier just in case.
That's why it's the perfect name for an ultimate, man. It's literally a diversion, you know, and when Loyi is on play, you really have to stay on your toes. You really have to be able to lock in and, you know how to play against this. So right now, Sans will take a shot. Also the mid lane, Wadu in trouble. Kyrie's going to be able to pick up a kill in the jungle. Still going to be fighting. Severo gets enough movement, and he will survive anyway. So again, Onyx will be able to find 2 against CFU.
And that is an econ diff. That is a huge econ diff. 5K now turning into a 6K lead. Honestly, if Onyx didn't have that 5K, Boxy probably wouldn't have been able to pick up Severo anyways. Wadu probably would have still died regardless, but even so, it's a very worth it trade for EXP and as well as gold. In this case though, Onyx currently 6 kills up on CFU Gaming, and they're now just waiting for the neutral objective. They're walking into enemy territory to deny as much econ as possible while still making sure that Kyrie has a very efficient path. 3-level lead, might I add, against Detective.
It's the same thing that I was saying, that we mentioned from the previous game.
Oh.
And even with that, diversion, they're going to go in for it. They be able to find 2. Boxy's gone, and Wadu to follow. Onyx comes through with the diversion, and Zing has nowhere to go. He's going to just get run down. He's running for the turret. Maybe I can get a little extra gold before I go down as he falls as well. Onyx in control, and they'll take the Lord.
Yep, and even Kyrie committing his retribution, knowing that once he dies, then he has nothing to worry about. There's no way that Detective is going to walk up and try and steal this from me. Not with my entire team covering the entire map, making sure that this filter net doesn't allow CFU Gaming to take space.
Oh, the next target here is see if they can get some more resources before this push in with that Lord. Right now, they're staring down for CFU an 8,000 gold deficit to work against, and even with Keyboy's got the flicker available. If they want to force a fight in the base, they will. Boxy taking a couple too many shots. A Loopy will go in to clean up after the Destinatas all land from Severo. But now looking for more, still with a numbers advantage. Onyx ready to possibly push into this base fully here as Kyrie walks in with the Lord.
Yep, Onyx ID are clearly, they are in the driver's seat. They have momentum on their side. No way.
Oh, whoa, Keyboy jumps on into the base. He gets taken out, but they're going to force the fight anyway. Lord's still going to be up, and Zing is gone. Severo's unleashed. Still trying to hold on. Tsunami Slam to be able to find Loopy. Loopy will fall. The base could be locked on, but Wadu is going to be the next target. Severo still shooting off from the backside. Looking for Detective. They'll clean out the lanes.
Oh my god.
But they still have minion waves pushing on in, and that's going to be it. Detective jumps on in. Severo will lock on, and Onyx will take the series 2-1.
Hey, a little disrespectful coming in from Onyx at the very end. If they wanted to finish it, they could have, but instead they're like, no. We're buffing up the KDs real quick. We gotta show CFU. You may be our scrim partners, but we will not take this down while we're standing up.
What was a dream start for Onyx, for CFU in this series, turned into a nightmare as Onyx slowly readjusted, recalibrated from the drafts to the execution to showing CFU we have you red. Yes, don't fix what's not broken, but you have to change what's already been read by your opponent.
I think it's all about tempo, right? There's such a big tempo difference between the two. I mean, Zing, this could have been his like key moment right here.
Hilda, because I kind of feel like the only one that might get punished is Hilda / Claude a bit. This is very interesting coming in from SRG OG, but as a Malaysian, I trust it because they spent a lot of manpower on studying the meta. So, hey, maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah, it really looks like a mid-game composition for SRG. They're really banking on their strengths here, but so are VP. We're seeing a little bit of a change for VP's playstyle. I think mainly forced out by SRG. There you go. That's the Edith pickup in the XP lane to deal with the CC with crowd control.
Yep, and here's the thing. Looking at the draft here, I kind of feel like for VP, they got the meta pick here.
Yep.
SRG OG, they might have seen this coming, and they just want to counter it. So either ways, good luck to the both of you casting this game. I hope it's a good opener for us.
I hope so too, LaFell. Thank you for that. And now we are going to get ready, ladies and gentlemen, to jump into the land of Dawn. Will it be the unorthodox draft of the defending MSC x EWC champions, or will it be the newcomers in VP with a meta draft, something that works, something that's solid, very orthodox, and actually does suit their playstyle in the wildcard?
I like to see how they're proving just how flexible they are indeed. In as early as game number 1, who would have thought they'd be switching up their drafting patterns that early on? But we'll see indeed. It's a unique approach to see the meta coming in from the wildcard champions rather than the defending champions.
Well, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 1 into the land of Dawn as Natan brings us in. Skies and Andoryu going to be pathing towards the same route over. They'll be meeting up, and let's talk a little bit about this matchup, right? Lancelot versus the Joy. I think in recent times, well, oh, hold up, big fight mid lane.
In as early as less than a minute, it seems like Stormy has been brought down to less than half HP, and I'm seeing the confidence in the interview, even just now in the mid lane from Pluto.
Bober, really well played on the Kimmy. It just shows you the experience that he's had in the wild card, just picking up this hero so many times. And Andoryu was actually gone for the orange buff straight into the Lethal Wanderer, knowing that SRG's jungler Skies will probably go for the triangle route.
Yep. And I'm liking how they're controlling the mid lane so far, since we know for a fact that Hilda does tend to be the one putting the pressure, being the one trying to invade a bit. But okay, so we saw this coming, but not to a point where it could potentially be an early solo kill. But hold on, in the mid lane, it seems like there's action happening once more. Thorn Rose committed by Andoryu, but Skies secures first blood onto Pluto and will not get punished for it.
Great moves from Skies. A glimpse of the MSC performance he's had last time. Vengeance!
Okay, gets the flicker out of the turret, but will that keep him safe? Because Cram will try to go for the kill, but instead, no, it's Yumes trying to help him there. A little bit of help, but somehow still a solo kill.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it can still count mid lane. This is definitely not a solo.
Oh my goodness, the pressure in the mid lane coming in from Virtus Pro, and the way they're able to answer back against SRG. This is a surprising turn of events, but Andoryu Phantom Execution out. Pluto might be taken out though, not yet level 4, and the control in the turtle pit seems to fall into SRG's hands.
This is big. SRG have brawled it out and actually have gotten a better timing in towards the turtle. Bad call level 4 though, that's Pluto!
Oh, so it seems like they don't want to recall. They're just trying to regroup, but that will mean that SRG OG secures the first hurdle of the game.
Now we get to see the setup that was done in the draft. You know, batting out a lot of the ready-to-fight heroes for Turtle 1 to take away that strength away from VP. Now we get to check onto the emblems here. Master Assassin for the Claude. It's the firmness for the Moskov. Super A Gorka has taken much more of a passive route. Hell, I think the entire team has 3 tenacities from Virtus Pro. They're really respecting the firepower from SRG.
So could they be really planning to focus on the macro for this game, not until they know that they've already hit their power spikes? But the way we're seeing it right now, at least in the trio mid, they're just really taking on the fights. They're somehow starting to brawl, but speaking of brawl, it seems like Stormy will start it instead. They will try to go for it, and they take down Pluto. Andoryu gets to escape, but now will he try to re-engage? Because the rest of his teammates, they seem to be in danger. That's 2 members down for Virtus Pro.
Great fight from SRG. utilizing that Stormy utility here early on. Getting those knockups, massive for SRG, and you can just see the coordination here for SRG, right? The fact that they were all ready to pounce as the knockup came through with the Lantern Flare shows you that at least here, they've got the advantage in that department. Virtus.pro were all over the place.
Yeah.
Bober was kiting away, wanted to go for the member they used Traction Pulse on. Now Cram...
What? AOG right in front of Cram just to somehow block his path. But they will successfully take him down though, but they needed 3 in order to do that. And I agree with you. It seems like Virtus.pro, their mechanical capabilities, they've proven that, but their coordination might need a little more work, especially in the way we've seen them play. But Stormy forced to flicker away, and now the SOD, okay, they will not proceed with the fight.
Yeah. Scoreboard 4-3, really close, but SRG have gotten more value out of their kills over Virtus.pro. Virtus.pro, like you said, Brigitte, they've been sending 2 members into the bottom lane to go for these kills, and SRG have bought so much time with those guys before dying that they could get more value out of the map. Purple buff was stolen. This puts Skies in a good position, despite Endoryu still being at the same level, actually a bit ahead in XP, fighting for Turtle 3.
He's actually 3-0. It's a really good standing, but again, even despite him being a Lancelot, if SRG OG are able to just dominate and control the objectives that way, it's gonna be a little difficult for them to contest. And now they can immediately transition to the top lane, although Endoryu might try his best to defend. They might not let go of this tier 1 just yet, and that's another thing I feel. There's no turrets taken down from either of these 2 teams so far.
Yeah, very disciplined from both these teams, at least when it comes to protecting their structures, lane swapping the lanes as well. Super Agorka sent down below for the turtle fight earlier. They didn't want to contest, and at least when it comes to the macro, it's great for Virtus.pro, right? They have been on the back foot for the most part of the trades, but they know what to do. Here, bad caught.
Oh, bad caught. There's the AOG as well, but will not knock up any single member. Bober tries to go for Sakai, but on the other side of the map, Yumes is the one taken down. SOD will be landing onto Stormy, and Innocent might just be the turnaround of Virtus.pro. Innocent gets to take down 1, but still, that's 3 members traded out by VP.
That might be the first win Virtus.pro has found in this game in a pure team fight. Endoryu!
Oh, the Phantom Execution, if that connected, I wonder how things would have changed. But just as we spoke about turrets, Virtus.pro get the first one away from SRG OG.
It was so close in the early game despite SRG's control over the neutral objective. 1,000 gold was all they had in the lead. And you could see with the team fight, despite it being also very messy from VP, you could see the targeting being all over the place. They managed to find the solution, and it was a big spear to land from Super Agorka. From down below, absolutely ridiculous accuracy from the young man from EECA. And now we've got a game. Both teams scale up pretty well. And both teams are playing for mid-game here, Brig.
That was a Firmness Moskov.
Firmness Moskov dealing damage. AOG!
AOG right in front of Crab. Oh, the flicker coming in as well from Badcod, immediately eliminating a single member from SRG before the turtle. Could this be a little different this time? Because VP, they're able to take a pick-off against SRG.
Wow. I'm really impressed by VP. The miscoordinations we saw early on, it seems like one fight and they're back together. This is their wildcard form in the final. Super Agorka picking up turrets for free as they set up for the final turtle of the game, Pluto.
Oh, will Endoryu let go of this opportunity? Sakai still secures the objective, but Andoryu's unstoppable. Might just go for the kills. Sakai fortunately gets away, but still, VP, they're not letting up without a fight.
Trades have been so equal this time around. VP get a little bit more of value. 2-1, a turret, but SRG did get the turtle. So it's a +1 value for VP here. Super Agorka, though, is farming up to be a beast. Let's take a look at the items. Perfect timing. In-game equipment, it's not just the man in the gold lane, but it's the man, an import from the Philippines who's done amazing this game. Look at that lead. 1,000. Again, you have to remember, his purple buff got stolen. This hasn't been the best games when it comes to farm. Endoryu!
He's almost legendary. 6-0! Primal Round! Oh, not Primal Round. Not just yet. It was the Phantom Execution. But somehow, Innocent still gets away, but not Cram! Oh my goodness.
Someone has to charge VP for fraud.
That was such
in the wild card, this was not how they performed. They were messy. Yes, they were good, but now Endoryu's going 1v1.
Are they actually gonna... Okay.
Back to the point. they're not playing the way we expected them to.
No.
This is clean gaming for VP. Maybe the first few minutes, yes, that was the VP we expected. You know, miscomms happening, miscoordinations little, small wins from SRG individually here and there. But it seems after the laning phase, this team has turned around so quickly. These fights have been so good, the rotations as well. And it's SRG who find themselves on the back foot. Mainly, Crap being very vulnerable with the CC on Vengeance, getting countered by the crowd control we spoke of in the draft. Pluto.
Yeah, and he got such a good start too, but hold on, speaking of, it's Innocent who gets taken down this time, not the best one for SRG OG. Sekais gets to trade, however, but Andoryu still going for it. 2-for-2 trade for both of these teams.
But it's worth it for VP. They got both the carries, Skies and Innocent, leaving the utility. Stormy in the mid lane. SRG still have the better control over the neutral objective here, so they will deny VP of a take on Lord, and it will prolong the game to a point where I think SRG can still pull things back.
Yeah.
It really comes down to a battle of team fights at this point, but VP have a Moskov. That's where the but comes in.
Yeah.
If Super Agorka plays this well, this could be a split push angle that forces SRG into a crucial forced error.
Yeah, and if SRG OG in the fights actually get the shutdown onto Andoryu,
There you go.
I feel like that'll matter a lot, but will they actually get to do that? Innocent tried to, but he will not succeed. That's a kill from Super Agorka. AOG committed by Pluto, but he's all alone in the middle of
SOD.
But Super Agorka, he makes it to the fight. Bomber has first position, however, because Crab, with a beautiful use of the Vengeance, gets a double kill. And Andoryu, he's legendary, but they lose 3 members. Badcott, is he still going for it?
The one time you don't go for the CC on CC, you lose it out. Now Phantom Execution as Cram gets the kill back. Badcott taking down Andoryu, looking for scraps, has to land the puncture, goes over the Thorn Rose. Cram survives!
Somehow he still survives, and Sekais might get the shutdown, but still doesn't! How is Andoryu still alive after all of this?
How is SRG doing it as well? We've got so many questions that we need to answer, that these two teams need to answer. And Doryu surviving, SRG winning despite not having Innocent in that fight. They want to fight again. Pluto knocked up.
He's starting to hurt. Innocent is starting to hurt. Pluto won't be able to land the AOG, but Andoryu fights Sekais! But he might be taken out here by Innocent, and now it's Super Agorka doing work, trying to look for the trades now that their jungler is down, but it might just be the disengage, it's just the call, because Yums and Cram hunt him down!
3 deaths, but he's still clutched. That Innocent, man, is ridiculous. Bober with the flicker out. Yums looking for the chase now, trying to cut him down, but Badcott's all alone, and it's a dive into him. One last Earth Shatter as Innocent picks up a killing spree and finally sets SRG's win condition in place.
Those were like consecutive redemption moments for Cram, because the sudden jump on his KDA, just look at that. If he was struggling to position himself earlier, he got the shutdown on 2 crucial heroes of VP, and then after that just kept putting in the pressure, which led them to getting this objective even.
Let's take a look at the fight again, a replay of it. Super Agorka zoned away. Now we see the brilliance of the Hilda pick. Maybe a lot of people, me included, don't like the Hilda pick, right? Because, especially in Rome. But he's done his job. Yomes was able to bait out so many of the resources from Super Agorka, tank so many shots from him, that the rest of SRG can come down and beat him up. Cram, the most vulnerable member on the team to crowd control, is still the big prio. There's a fight going on in live cam view. AOG to defend. Let's take a look at it.
Oh! Super Agorka finding Sekais. Will VP actually go for this fight knowing that their jungler is down, but they focus on taking down the Lord for now. That at least exposed all their inhibitor turrets, however, and somehow an advantage for SRG.
What? Did Super Agorka get a solo kill? This guy's
But
walk up too aggressively, because he did land the SOD, yes, but when he did, Skies was already super low.
So there was probably a fight before
Curtain
that,
call.
but speaking of the fight, look at this curtain call! Latched onto Pluto and Super Agorka! Beautiful targets for Cram, but gets knocked up right there by the Earth Shatter. Badcott, though, doesn't have the Primal Wrath, so they won't be able to find a way to fight back, not unless Andoryu looks for the trades, but the Thorn Rose doesn't seem to land on the Stormy!
A desperate play from Andoryu, and SRG will capitalize on this. The experience of the defending MSC champions coming in the mid-game. 13 minutes in, and they're going to be knocking at the base turret. First one going down. SOD landing for Super Egorka Skies.
Could this actually be it? VP will try to defend, uses the AOG as well, but Super Egorka unfortunately gets taken down. There's the traction pulse from Bober, and they still have some minion waves coming in, but they have to wait for the next wave.
5 seconds on Andoryu. Wave is coming in, but it's a bit too slow. VP actually have a shot of defending. SRG need to get this wave into the base. Here we go.
Did they actually go for the conceal? Bad cut doesn't land their shatter, and Bober is the first to fall. And Doryu 2 won't more, or he will make it out alive and successfully clears the wave still.
Oh, Skies just died. What? Where?
Wait.
Did he get shot by the turret? Did he walk up too far, or was the minions the one that dealt the final blow?
There's a lord. There's a
This
lord.
is a big mistake from SRG. Yes, they've gotten value. It's still value. Base turrets taken down mid and bot. But VP have more members for the Lord. 20 seconds for Skies. Cram is walking up still very aggressively. Okay, it's not a big mistake. The SRG have recovered very, very well. Just poking and holding their ground up against a VP team that also was waiting for 2 members to get back up in Badcon and Bober.
Okay, so at least it isn't necessarily an immediate transition into the Lord for VP, even though Sekai's was taken down earlier. And it seems like they'll need a bit more resources if they want to deal with Cram, unlike how it was for the first few minutes. Things have changed a bit, especially as Innocent has already taken his items. He's already full build on this Claude. But speaking of full build, oh no! Pluto doesn't go for the engage and instead gets taken down. So Pluto and Badcott, the true frontliners, they're nowhere to be seen for VP.
There's no front line up against this SRG composition in the late game, man. Yom's walking up, canceling the recall, and it will be a 2v1. Super Egorka throws it out, almost catches Stormy. 2v1.
Uses the Wind of Nature, but against 2, will he be still
3.
able to find a way out? Make it 3 indeed, and Sekai's doesn't care. Taking down one of the best ways to defend for VP.
30 seconds on the death timers. SRG are looking to go for just 1 wave in the mid lane. They think it's going to be enough. They've shoved up top. No, wait. Yeah, they're just going to go for the mid lane. Straight into it. Cram with the curtain call over to Badcott.
Okay, the curtain call was already used, but it seems like they're not going to care. And Doryu doesn't land any of his skills. And instead, SRGOG gain access to the base. It's a killing spree for Sekai's. And after 16 minutes, they finally end the game.
That game right there was a perfect way to describe the Selangor Red Giants OG Esports playstyle. They wait to mid. They might be a bit messy, but they make up for it with ridiculous team fighting and mechanics.
Can I just say that was weird and familiar at the same time? They're very chaotic because this is the thing about Selangor Red Giants, right? Where, you know, they lose the early game.
Yep.
They get some items.
Yep.
Something happens and then profit.
Yeah, but
Value.
But if in some way, right, VP were able to capitalize a bit more on some of those mistakes, it could have been very dangerous for SRG.
That's Malaysia team for you, man. I don't know what. Like, we're the most entertaining for a reason, right? We gotta have that comeback story.
Absolutely. There's always going to be a comeback story, and this was the moment where they actually took control of the game and a massive. Okay, there you go. Hayabusa.
Very interesting
Yeah,
here.
the Lunox is actually not bad against that, no?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, and Uranus is the only tank that can get shredded.
Yeah, and I think I saw a matchup.
TP.
The Uranus will really not like this Lunox.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of
Chaos
which,
and Uranus?
hey, chaos is the game. So now, good luck to the both of you. If it does stretch out to be a very, very long game,
You're gonna help us.
I don't mind. I'm gonna say it. I don't mind making a trio cast.
I don't mind either, LaFell, but thank you for that. Now, it's time for us to shine with the teams. They have gone for, again, I would say, now it's a bit different. VP have the unorthodox draft. They have the Lunox. I don't like it in the gold lane. In the mid lane, especially in this comp, it's alright. It's alright.
Yeah.
Wait, we're still here.
It's alright.
Well, let's get straight into the Land of Dawn to see if it's going to be a clean sweep for the defending MSC x EWC champions, or will it be VP taking it to game 3?
Yep, at least we don't feel that iffy about the chemistry between their roamer and mid lane, because sometimes you see the Kaleas and then they pick up a mid laner which doesn't necessarily supplement like the
Wait,
burst
what?
damage or what? Wait, what?
I thought this was supposed to be a very awkward battle.
I
Turns
thought-
out Badcott just... Okay, we'd
wait.
love to see what actually happened. Did he take...
A couple turret hits? Yeah. Because like,
take a
there
turret
should be
hit?
no other way. Right?
Am I mistaken? Is Esmeralda, she just get like a crazy buff?
Have the
All
times
right.
changed?
Well, 1-0. That's how we started the game. Again, this is looking pretty SRG, you know? 1-0 down, and then they go back and find a crazy team fight to turn things around in the mid game.
Okay, still on track. Still on track.
Yeah.
For the typical and signature SRG play that we're used to seeing, but it seems like Badcott is still going for it.
Oh, he's dominating this lane.
For some reason, there's actually a lot of action happening in the Esmeralda Uranus lane.
I guess Esmeralda's good in Uranus, against Uranus. And Doryu on the Eastern Shin, now Pluto as well. They're just doing a good job at screening. I think
Yeah.
Humes has been able to, like, he's been trying so hard to just screen, to get vision on Endoryu, but Pluto is just not having it. Tenacity and the firmness, a whole lot of tankiness, because he needs to compensate for the support emblem. Tank emblem on the other side, compensating for no support emblem with the pull yourself together and the agility right there. And it is the common bargain hunter. I guess Lethal Ignition is kind of interesting. Badcott ganked.
Okay, that's 4 members trying to take him down, but somehow, with the sustain, he still survives, but Cram gets last hit, however, and now Bober, using the Chaos Assault and the Flicker, will try to take down Cram and successfully will. And Doryu forced to dash away because of just how good SRG is trying to control the Turtle Pit, but they get back, and they're still going for it. And Doryu's picking a fight. Yuz might just be taken down, but that's the light ultimate already committed by Bober. It's just such a back and forth between these two teams in that objective.
Just like in game 1, but SRG want to keep going. Cram walking up to zone them away. Yums will be able to recall. And SRG, they gotta respect VP, dude. Yeah, they were able to, you know, out team fight them in the previous game. Bober!
This is such a nightmare for a Uranus.
Yeah.
Bober seems to have his eyes set on taking or making things very difficult for Cram.
Doesn't like Uranus. SRG, again, just you gotta respect it, right? VP, especially in the early phases of the game here, they're going to have more of a say when it comes to longer team fights.
Yep.
SRG with the Hayabusa, you need to get the burst down early and go for the execution. If you don't get a big kill with a shadow kill, it's kind of already cooked. You just have to back away, especially when you're up against someone with constant passive crits in the Yisun Shin.
Yep. I'm liking how they're really watching out for that Yisun Shindo. Oh, Tsunami Slam onto Humes, and they have enough damage to actually burst him down. And Bober still going for the damage. Takes down Stormy too. Sakai's trying to trade, but that's 3 members. And still, VP actually win that fight.
Super Igorka. The nitpick, the criticism was you're a bit too safe in game 1. He says, it's all right. I'll just pick a safer pick. I don't have to take risks. I'll just shoot from the back and get some crazy kills. SRG on the back foot, but this time not in their comfort zone. This is a 2,000 gold lead for VP. And you can see again, it's not just about the initial fight for SRG. Even in the initial fight, as long as Pluto gets the pick, it's crazy. He's answered the question that Yums proposed to him. Who's Pluto? The guy that just got the Tsunami Slam on you. Oh man.
And Pluto feels so confident in all of those setups because of Bober. Bober, he's just able to provide the right amount of damage and even a little bit more even when the Chaos Assault is over. But Traction Pulse committed onto Bober. Almost half HP. And Doryu though, will he freely secure this turtle even with the presence of SRG? He does! Sakai's actually uses the Retribution there, but he doesn't get it.
And Doryu's just farming aura at that point. Skies with the red tree, Skies with the move, Cram trying to open up, and Doryu just says, eat this arrow, turtle, and takes it. Virtus Pro holding the lead again. Yum, Tsunami Slam.
There you go again. Yums is always the target. But will Sakai's actually try to take them on this time? Splits the damage for 2, but is enough to take out Pluto. So it's a 1-for-1, it's just the roamers which were taken down.
But Super Igorka got a whole lot of space in the bottom lane. Now it's a turret for free to VP. As Cram tries to cut in these lanes to relieve pressure off the rest of the map, but VP are just constantly rotating. This definitely does seem like the early game we've been seeing a whole lot from VP in the wild card. And Cram's trying to cut, but VP are the ones cutting SRG's Cram's movement. And Doryu, Mountain Shocker.
He had to pass under that turret, and that might have been bad for him. Once again in the mid lane as well. There's action as they take Stormy out. Stormy and Cram. This is already a 4K gold lead for VP.
Stormy had Purify, falling star moves. Guys can't even walk in his own jungle. Doryu.
Okay, that was close. That was close. Oh, see, guys, goes back.
A risky move that does not pay off. It was already a 4,000 gold lead now. And Doryu's gonna have a whole lot more to say. 2 levels ahead. That's another Tsunami Slam.
Uses the flicker, but it was well worth it. Mid-tier 1 falls for SRG, and now they gain access to the purple buffs, to SRG's farm, and that's what you don't want to happen. As guys, those were such risky decisions we've seen from SRG so far. And Innocent taking 1 or taking 2 members, trying to at least, but he cannot do that.
I was just about to say, Brigitte, that SRG are just gonna have to fall back to plan C, which is play for Innocent, but he gets caught off staying a bit too long up top, punished by Virtus.pro. And now what is plan B? What's plan C? I don't know. It's 11-3, 6,000 gold lead for Virtus.pro. You can see the SNB gold difference. Oh no, Cram again trying to cut.
How confident is Andoryu now, taking on the Uranus, and with just the help of a single bullet from Super Egorka, able to take down the tankiest member in SRG already. This is not looking too good for the Red Giants.
You put the perspective in the right place. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that guy right there who just got shredded down by a Yisun Shin is the tankiest member on the team. Bober is going to now shred through everyone, not just Cram. Traction pulse over the Mountain Shocker for Vision. Would love to see the items right now. Innocent has picked up the Golden Staff. That's an Oracle. There you go. Hunter Strike. All right, there's an attempt here with the Quad Shadow, but it won't really work out. That's, oh man. Look at the gold lead for Super Egorka!
That was so close. He already had the Sky Piercer. What if it actually landed? But then this one lands, the Tsunami Slam. And the follow-up from Bober. Yums is eliminated, and they gain access to the inhibitor turret. Holy shields already popped in as early as 8 minutes in this game. Unbelievable showing from VP.
That sounds like a reaction. Holy shield. VP continuing this relentless assault into the base of SRG. Mountain Shocker there with a falling star move too. They really tried to read Stormy's move. Cram pinning them down.
Oh, he actually surprises them from behind, but still Zekai's burst it down. Cram forced to flicker just to make it out alive, and Yums, it's a double kill for Super Egorka. Now they have to defend all over again.
We take it back. I'm sorry, Super Egorka. You do not need to risk it all to win against champions. Maybe you just need a better hero, like a one that suits you. Play in the back, shooty shoot McShoot, and SRG goes down. Now it's a Lord that will go down as well, and Virtus.pro, they're en route to securing game 2. And SRG, what about Cram?
Okay. There were at least some waves managed. That's the thing. SRG with the Moskov, with the Uranus are somehow able to deal with the sides. But that was a sacrifice there by Cram. He, or at least Innocent, had to go down, but since he was closest to the objective, then you know what's gonna happen.
At this point, Brig, I'm just thinking of ways that SRG can actually turn things around. It's very, very difficult. I don't want to say impossible, but it's very difficult. Yums has to get like a 5-man ult, 5-man fist crack.
That's so hard.
I just got that. Little bird told me. Wind of Nature already too. So even if they do get a pick, like they go for a big stun, great initiation. There's ways. You gotta understand the yellow from Bober too. Now Shadow Kill. There you go. That's an attempt.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. But look at that Tsunami Slam Tidal Strike combination, just denying the last hit. That potential kill onto Andoryu. Now making it 4v5. Bober goes in, uses the Chaos Assault, but all they want is the inhibitor turret in mid. Pluto gets taken out with the falling star mode coming in from Vanguard.
goes into the base. Now it's Enduryu picking up the scraps. Mega kill, one last shot to get another Innocent trying to save the game, and he falls to the bullets of Super Egorka. We've got a series in our hands. Game 3 for VP versus SRG.
Oh my goodness. Wow, wow, wow. Holy shield. That was an amazing game. Dude, here's the thing. There's so many questions, right? So many questions that I don't even want to ask right now. Like maybe when everyone has left, then maybe I can ask, you know? But still, that was a game. No, we're looking at the replay. Can I just say, Pluto, man, Pluto. I love when Kalia players have no hesitation. And as a Kalia player, you will have no hesitation if your mid does damage. And the mid does damage.
Bober had such a great start.
He had a nuke in that ult.
When he got the...
Bobbering.
Right?
Bobering?
Bobbering. That's what he did. He was bobbering.
Hey, this game was all fine and dandy until Bober said, it's Bobering time. It's Bobering all over the place.
When he got the Genius Wand, things were just a lot more difficult for SRG to manage.
I feel like it was already difficult when level 1.
Oh yeah, that too.
Krem already died. So.
Yeah, what happened there? I would love to see a replay of...
honestly, I have no idea. Like, the only thing that I can think of is just that he tried to cut the wave.
Yeah.
And then just free hits.
Got punished.
And he's just like, no way this guy's gonna kill me, right?
Yeah.
No way, right?
But
and he'd be like, holy shield.
Holy sh... Dive with the team to the Farsa. So, I think there is still a couple of options open. Safe choice is obviously the Granger.
So now, roughly around 20 seconds left. For now, SRG-OG, I kind of feel like they got a very meta draft, so very different from Game 1 and Game 2, where it looks like they have a centralized game plan. Now it's just like, okay, we know what picks are good, and then we're just going to go for it. And now they pick up the Bruno. So again, maybe they just want a little bit more range.
Safety,
and if we really want to get into it, shred some armor, making it easier for the Hayabusa to actually go in and actually execute the entire team. So this is a very interesting draft. I would say Game 1, Game 2, there's a lot of mix up there, but Game 3, I kind of feel like this is the most standard that we're gonna see all throughout MSC. So now this is gonna be the final matchup of SRG-OG going up against Virtuous Pro, where who would have thought that we got here? You know, a young man from the Philippines is watching here, so shout outs to him.
Hey, shout outs, Mr. Dan.
And now I'm gonna be throwing it over to you guys.
Thank you so much, LaFell. We are going to get ready here, ladies and gentlemen, for the final game of this series. Virtus Pro have fought tooth and nail to bring it to a Game 3. And it comes down to the land of Dawn. Natan is flying in the air to bring us into it here for our final game of the series. Here we go. SRG versus VP.
I'm liking how both of these teams have adopted so far in this series. The way that we're seeing VP finally go for that really team fight comp as well. I mean, even just looking at the Bruno, it does feel like this is the type of play from Super Egorka that's really gonna go for the fights against SRG. So let's see what the plan is gonna be this time around. Is the early game still gonna pan out the exact same way so far? Because Pluto was already forced to use that Revitalize. Great pressure coming in from Cram so far in this game compared to game number 2.
Yeah, good stuff. Emblem builds here, the Bargain Hunter for the Harith. So far, everything looks pretty normal. Well, I guess there's a difference. Oh, good take by Innocent. There's a difference in the Kalea, right? For Pluto, he liked to go for the pull yourself together and the agility. This is a tankier take with the firmness over the agility. On the other side, Master Assassin for Super Egorka, really trying to win out this matchup.
So this is adding to what we just mentioned about Virtus Pro changing things up, adapting to what they think or what seems to be one of the best ways to deal with SRG-OG and their playstyle so far in this game. And it seems like the action in the mid lane is still on. Will Pluto actually go for the Unbreakable though? Might not for now. So they just resume the farming and play it very cautiously in the first few minutes of the game. The first objective might be the actual fight.
Yeah. It's just a battle of prio at this point of the game, right? For both teams. That's why SRG have been sending even Skies to come in mid to clear it out. Stormy's level 4, so First move by SRG on Turtle 1.
Oh, there's the grab, and Pluto. Will he still be able to commit the AOG? It's a no, and Sakai secures the objective as well as first blood. Bat got forced to flicker away, and that does not allow for Andoryu to at least get close to contest, and now they transition into denying the orange buff.
It's all about speed. SRG saw what Virtus Pro were able to do in game number 2 with that speed, with that pace. Tsunami Slam, bringing Pluto back.
For the second time around, are they actually going for Pluto? That's his second death in this game. Badgot trying to take out Sakai's, but it's Bober who gets to do it instead. But still, Badgot, he also falls.
2 deaths on Pluto, 1 death on Badcott. Overall, it should still be worth it for SRG here, especially if they deny this trade in the jungle. Innocent's walking up, Yums too. Oh, and Doryu gets the red tree down. So at least he finds a bit of value with Skies falling, but it's really not too much, considering, again, SRG got 2 kills on Mr. Sky Prince.
Yep, the numbers are clearly in favor of SRG right now. They've also established a 1k gold lead so far, which I feel like is a really good situation, especially if you're Innocent, which is, speaking of Innocent, look at him right now being very confident, using the Zaman Force just to force Super Igorka to go back under his turret. So this is SRG.
Yeah.
This is the team, this is the experience showing up in terms of holding on to the lead or actually trying to make it grow.
This is why, personally, I wouldn't think of the Bruno against the Harith. Like, you're not really a big bully in level 1 to 3 against the Harith, and once Harith gets level 4 into a book and just a book, you get the ultimate dashes, unlimited dashes on the Chrono Dash with the Zaman Force. Yums!
Oh, that's such a quick rotation from Stormy, as well as Yums, a very decisive flicker and Tidal Strike as well, but the counter engage takes down Yums, but the Zaman Force, the cooldown is already gone. Now they actually try to go for Pluto, but Andoryu makes it just in time. Will he be able to cast the Yogi Shadow Kill, though? He will, and Stormy gets traded down, but the fast execution! Oh my goodness, Sakai's, he got Andoryu!
Very unfortunate. They split apart. It was a good flicker from Stormy to bring in to disperse the damage, but then they just dispersed again, and now Turtle 2.
They don't have the jungler. They don't have their jungler. And still, Sakai's clearly will have the upper hand, the advantage in securing that objective. The pressure just, it's always in VP's side of the map. They're not letting go, especially with Crab, who's also able to rotate down bottom this early on. So they're clearly trying to go for the objectives, but at least for VP, it's a commendable way that they're able to deal and defend their turrets for now.
Super solid from SRG. That pace that they've been playing with, they've literally just, again, adapted to VP style. In game number 2, VP were the ones constantly fighting, constantly getting the early setups onto neutral objectives. This time, it's SRG. They're first into the fights, they're first into neutral objectives as well, and everyone wants smoke. Even Innocent in the bottom lane, constantly going for 1v1s, feeling confident. And Doryu brought back.
There's no way out if you're Andoryu. And I think the way we're seeing SRG play this so far is that they're not following a certain system. They don't follow a certain sequence when it comes to forcing the fights. Anyone can actually start the fight if they want to do it. Can either be Innocent if he's confident enough to use the Zaman Force, or even the Fettered Airstrike. But hold on, speaking of Innocent, he might put himself in a dangerous position. Badcock still catches up, but there's a flicker and the Zaman Force to keep him alive. Stormy catches up too, which makes Virtus Pro a little hesitant. There's too much members, or too many members from SRG who caught up in that moment.
And SRG get the wave up top. They get a turret too. They have some more capitalization over VP, who've just been reacting to the plays of SRG without much to say in the macro game. They're not able to trade for much here. It was a flicker. I guess it was pretty good, right? Because you got a flicker, and now next fight you should be able to punish Innocent if you catch him, but it's an if. SRG got an absolute. They got a structure down that will be down forever. SNB gold difference here, 1,200 gold lead for Skies. The last 2 games he's been, I would say, struggling, right? Level 1, game 1 as well, losing out to Farm against Andoryu, and game 2, we know what happened. So great to see Skies finally in the lead.
I mean, for VP, I guess they don't really have a choice but to wait for their timings, to wait for Super Igorka. But now they might actually try to contest for this objective. AOG already committed. Actually knocks up a couple members from SRGOG, but they immediately take down Stormy, but Pluto gets punished as well. Yums tries to escape, but he will not succeed. And look at the damage coming in from Super Egor and Badcon, who decides to dive under the turret just to get that kill, allowing Andoryu to finally get a turtle for his team.
Pluto. Last-ditch effort. Most of the times you see a got the catch AOG back. He was mounted. He was bound to die, and he decided to AOG forward. He even caught Stormy off guard. He popped in the feathered airstrike, thinking that the AOG will be defensive, or thinking that would at least be like a slam forward to cancel out the AOG. Miscom by SRG. Great punish by VP.
The team fight capabilities right now.
And yeah, the flicker wasn't used. Not by Stormy.
But the team fight capabilities of VP, they're becoming scary at this point. They've already somehow caught up. There's still a 1k gold lead for SRG, but this could have been way bigger if only they're able to keep the momentum in their hands. And as you've mentioned, even the leads between their junglers, somehow, someway, they're slowly catching up.
1,500 gold lead. That big lead that SRG had built up in the early stage of the game towards this point is gone. And VP, look at see the confidence in Andoryu. A Sky Piercer for the Hayabusa. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing this even in the wildcard. Oh man, another pick. Super Egorka gets it 2-0-2, and it was Cram who got caught.
There was a different intention, I feel, for SRG. They had plans to do something up top, but majority of the members of VP, they weren't there. They were in the mid lane, they were in the bottom lane, and Pluto droning out Sekai's and gets to AOG out of it. So they did so much to zone, but luckily SRG, they get to hold on that tier 2.
The lead is completely gone, and Doryu is still stolen away the purple buff. Skies is still a level ahead, and that could be an angle that SRG decide to use to contest for the neutral objective. Your Lord spawning in the game at the 9th minute mark as Andoryu constantly farms up, trying to get even in level up against Skies. But VP know they've got a winning angle here. They have to play for Super Egorka yet again on a safe pick that's just previously shoot. This is balling away. Cram.
Oh, Pluto's already down half. But so is Cram though. Oh, they find Sekai. They go for the Tsunami Slam onto Bober. What a beautiful target for SRGOG. Innocent also using the Zaman Force. Might just be able to get another kill, but the AOG immunes him for a while, but not for long. Ogi Shadow Kill also committed as well by Andoryu, and that might not be enough anymore for Virtus Pro to keep going with this fight. Super Egorka chased by 4. Andoryu tries to go in, but he doesn't have the Ogi Shadow Kill anymore, but still finds Stormy. Tries to get away, but it won't be enough. That's still 4 members of SRGOG.
The recovery from the Selangor Red Giants. OG Esports now straight to the Lord. 10 minutes in, 2,000 gold lead back. So they're back where they're left off. Not completely, but they're on the way there. Virtus Pro, Bober way too aggressive, standing up front, not respecting the concealed potential of Yums, and he got caught. He got caught hard. Everyone wasn't really able to recover from that position. Everybody was just throwing in skills, even Andoryu. He walked up with the quad shadow, got the shadow kill in, but he was stunned right as he went for the quad shadow. So it ended up being a very awkward shadow kill that got, I think most of the damage was actually on the Lord. So very unfortunate for VP, for SRG, back to plan A. Going with the snowball, utilizing the Lord, 4,600. There you go. That's where they left off.
VP need to be a little more careful about when or where they position themselves, especially for heroes like Bober, because he wasn't able to even use the Fury of the Phoenix anymore to scout the other members of SRGOG, but Andoryu with that single combo and the feathered airstrike, he gets deleted on the Hayabusa, even with the quad shadows. There's no way out, and the Holy Shields once again, they are already down, but this is the punish from VP. They find Innocent. Sekai though still a massive threat, so they focus on taking down the Lord for now, but Sekai's, he just won't stop.
He will have to stop though, now with the Holy Defense already taken down the Lord. Virtus Pro, what a crazy engage yet again by Pluto. He saw an angle for Innocent, went for the taunt, got the AOG. Now the airstrike used up. Pluto holding the line down. Oh!
Bad caught. was only trying to zone to get some space, but he cannot do it alone anymore. Will Andoryu try to go for it again this time? Only shadow kill, but it splits between 3 members. Sekai also looking for another kill. Fortunately, there's a flicker for Bober, and now they disengage. But not for Andoryu. He still might want to go for it because the Fury of the Phoenix is committed. But the iframes, the Thord Rose, that was a close call for Sekai. And now Stormy fights Super Igorka.
That's why you want Stormy on a carry pick, a flicker forward to punish an overextending Purify Super Igorka. Great moves by SRG, and yes, the reaction time locked in completely. Even though Skies was far away from what could have been a threat, he was locked in. He knew that was coming. Went for the Thorn Rose, dodged away from it, and now without Super Igorka, they're sieging in the base yet again for a base turret, and they'll be happy with that. They gotta keep discipline. They know that VP have many ways to still turn things around despite the 7,000 gold lead, so they have to take it slow.
The fettered airstrike is such a problem at this point for a VP. I mean, they have the Hayabusa, but now that Stormy's always protected by the other members of SRG, or at least beside another member of SRG, makes things so hard for Andoryu to find the right pickoff. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things that they have to figure out now that they're forced to defend for majority of the game. How do they actually find that one single pickoff if SRG are just always grouped up and their tankiest frontliners, they can't find a way to deal with it just yet? I mean, Super Igorka, I feel like he already has the Malefic gun.
Yeah.
So somehow there's a little bit more of range to it. But if you're forced to disengage just from joining the fights for a while, then how could you maximize the passive of the Bruno at this point?
Skies walks up. We're also reaching a point where Badcot's really struggling to stay relevant. Pluto walks up.
Yumsen innocent from behind knocks up 2, and without even the Zaman Force, just the Thorn Rose already eliminates Stormy and Bober. Pluto trying to walk back to the base, but Badcot and Doryu, what can they do if their paths are being blocked like this? Still has the Quad Shadow, so we'll find a way to go back. But they're not letting up. They're chasing after him. They won't let him go back to the base.
They want to end the game right here, right now. No upset, at least not here, is what they're saying. Skies walks up the puncture. Zaman Force over SRG.
Badcot's trying to deal with the waves, but there's still a single cart minion left. And that is it for Virtus Pro. A great showing, but the series, it falls into the hands of SRG OG.
The war cries over from Selangor Red Giants OG Esports. Right as they won, it was a bunch of hey, walking over. Hey, they were face to face. That's a lot of heat.
Hey, that's why I miss having this kind of setup.
I agree.
Where the players are so close to each other. And you know why it works here, Mirko?
Why?
Because they both teams can talk and they don't understand each other. So that's why it works. And then once it's done, take off the headset and be like, hey. Game 2. That was a fluke.
Yeah.
That was a fluke, bro.
Dude, Cram, I saw him. He was just pointing at the boys, looking him dead straight in the eye. That was cold.
Yeah, he was like, hey, you killed me level 1. Never again. Never again.
That's all you get.
That's all you get. That's all you get. Now we're looking at the highlights here and talk about a change of tempo, right? And this is what we look like when we start to see SRGOG start drafting standard.
Yeah. Keeping things simple is probably the best thing to do in the group stage.
Keep it al dente.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Please continue.
I mean, this is what we were trying to say before going back to game number 3, right? It's probably the simplest things, and I feel like VP, they did attempt to simplify their approach. It was clear that they were after the team fights as well, but whenever they do try to go for a fight, it seems like the angles from which SRG comes from, they're not able to cover all of them. Like, Super Igorka seems like a free target for most of the time. And even Bober, he has questionable positionings every now and then. So I feel like that contributed a lot to how these team fights fared out for VP and SRG.
Yep, thank you very much. But now, honestly, looking at the highlights, it's all great, it's all good. But behind me, I already see Eterna as well as Sakai standing by. So we're going to throw it over to see what Sakai has to say about this game.
Thank you, casters. I turn it here once again, and this time I'm joined with the Sky Prince Sakais. Welcome, Sakais. Hello. Hi. Okay. So congratulations for your first win here at MSC. And I think a lot of people are curious, right? Because as defending champions, I think a lot of people were obviously expecting that this would go to you, but it looked like in game number 1, things were a little bit shaky. Can you tell us what happened?
Okay, pertama sekali tahniah lepas menang game hari ni, and tetapi bila kalau kita tengok daripada match hari ni, ramai orang yang expect SRG akan menang mudah, tapi kita boleh nampak di game pertama tu SRG agak terkapar-kapar sedikit. Boleh ceritakan apa yang terjadi tak?
Saya rasa series tadi tu kita orang main macam biasa je sebenarnya. Kita orang pun tak ada estimate orang, and dorang pun team yang kuat juga, iaitu dari wildcard. Even though they wildcard, but they are the only one yang dapatkan slot. So I think they kuat juga. So bagi kita orang series tadi just series yang normal lah, part of the game.
Yeah, first of all, I think VP is a strong team. We need to give them credit. It's because of from the playoff, from the wildcard itself, they are the champion. And to be honest, we just play like normal. We don't underestimate them. And I think this is just part of the game.
Okay. So what part of the game was what made things tricky in game number 1?
Jadi part of the game yang mana yang buat adik rasa game tu agak tricky di game pertama tadi?
I think saya rasa untuk game pertama tadi, saya rasa di bahagian early game je. So mungkin yang tu kita orang tengah biasakan diri untuk bermain atas stage untuk season ni. I mean
It's okay. It's okay.
Alright. So untuk game kedua tu, obviously tu daripada mistake kita orang lah.
Yeah, I think the part of the game that been tricky for the first game is basically just like, I mean, we are trying to still to adapt with the weather, with the stage itself, and it's just a mistake on the early game. But for the second series, which is the second game, basically it's completely our mistake. So yeah, I think that's all.
Okay. So understandably so, right? Adaptation period is definitely going to be there. Now, what about your next match? Because you guys are continuing into the upper brackets, and there's a choice here. You could either go against Corinthians or Mythic Seal. Who do you think you're going to go up against next?
Okay, untuk match seterusnya ada dua pilihan, Corinthian ataupun Mythic Seal. Rasa-rasa Sky sendiri, SRG akan bertemu dengan siapa? Corinthian atau Mythic Seal?
Saya rasa personally kita orang akan berjumpa dengan dari Myanmar, iaitu Mythic Seal, sebab kita orang tahu yang Myanmar region yang sangat bagus juga, kuat. So kalau nak banding dengan region Japan tadi, Brazil, saya rasa Myanmar yang lagi better lah.
Yeah, I think between Corinthians and Mythic Seal, I would choose personally Mythic Seal. It's because of, for me, Burmese or Myanmar team is basically it's one of the strong region, and I think it's a strong team as well. So I'm looking forward to meet Mythic Seal.
Okay, now considering that you did mention Mythic Seals, if we have a little bit of a flashback to M6, unfortunately in the Swiss stages, SRG lost to another Burmese representation. Are you confident going against Mythic Seal this time?
Okay, kalau kebetulan adik ada sebut pasal Mythic Seal, which is daripada Burmese, daripada Myanmar. M6 tahun lalu SRG kalah dengan Falcon, which is daripada Burmese juga. Adakah Sky sendiri confident yang kali ini korang akan pastikan orang kata tak jadi lagi keadaan yang sama?
Saya rasa for the last series yang M6 tu, even though kita orang kalah, tapi kita orang rasa kita orang boleh menang untuk series tu lah. So I think for against Myanmar, kita orang confident lah.
Yeah, I mean for the last M6, yes, of course we are still confident that we can win that match, but unfortunately we just lost that game. But for this series right now in EWC, we are really confident against Myanmar team, and just we are look forward for next match.
We're also looking forward to it, and we're excited, and I'm glad that you guys are confident, because that's going to be a banger of a match. So once again, thank you so much, the Prince of Mages. And we're gonna, Prince of Mages, what? The Sky Prince, what in the world? That's Stormy. But once again, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next match. We're gonna throw it over back to our casters. Sorry, LaFell, please don't hate me.
Hey, only a little bit. But shout out to Skies. He's clearly sick.
Yeah.
You know, it's cold here and he's sweating.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Get well soon.
Hopefully you get well soon because he needs to be in perfect health for this one.
Absolutely.
But now we got to talk about Innocent on this hire because after the change